player to hit a home run on Tuesday and get a $5 bonus inside credit for every home run hit in the game. Maximum $25. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code PLAY to get in on the action. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code PLAY. 21 plus and present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refund and bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Are we ready for the 5:30 pickup?
Cam's courier service's newest hire delivered his resignation.
Hey, Ray, who's handling
She now needs next day shipping on a new driver.
all these boxes here? Are they ingoing or are they outgoing?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
The outdoors are calling. Your gym wants you back, and your bike says it misses you. Way too many of us gave up on working out during the long months at home. But regular exercise not only improves your general health, it lifts your mood and can help boost your memory. The good news, with proper precaution, almost anyone can begin a fitness program today. Biking, yoga, or just getting out for a walk, there's something right for you. This station is part of the Beasley Best community of caring. Discover tips and easy ways to return to physical fitness at our website.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now, my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Great values are happening now during Lowe's Summer Savings. Save on select appliance special values. Plus, save an additional $50 when you buy 2 or more appliances, each priced $396 or more. You'll also find new lower prices on ceiling fans, landscape lighting, and more. So shop Lowe's today. Must ask cashier to apply discount in store. Online must use promo code. Can't be combined with any other discounts. See Lowe's.com for exclusions and terms. Valid 7/15 through 8/4. U.S. only.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz? Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Yo, Cuz, how you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Ray rocked the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
And a good morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz today. Anthony's on vacation. He is on vacation. He'll be back on Wednesday, so he's taking 2 days off. I'm in for him today. Connor Thomas will be filling in my seat, as he does every single time Ant is out, and I appreciate Connor always sticking around, doing great things with the John Kincaid Show, and then he sticks around to hang out with me for 4 hours pretty much and just sort of puts up with my nonsense. So I appreciate you doing that every single time. We got a lot to get into today because it was a busy weekend in baseball land, and I'll talk about that in a second because I just feel wonderful. Complaining about complaining, just to complain. That's what a lot of people like to do nowadays. And also, I got some Ben Simmons trades. A bunch of the ESPN people, you know, the Kevin Peltons of the world, not like Woj, but the Kevin Peltons, the Tim Bontemps, all the analysts for ESPN.com. They put together the trade scenarios that they would like to see or the best options for the Sixers and teams that would be a part of the trade. So I'll get to those later on in the show as well. But let's start with the Phillies. As you guys know, Mr. Baseball over here. The train is in the shop. It's in the shop. And I already saw a couple of the YouTube comments before I jumped on here from the previous show, the John Kincaid page, and it was, Andrew's going to say it during a good spot here. Well, here's the deal. I'm not happy with what happened this weekend. You lost 2 of 3 to the worst team in baseball, the Pirates. A team that also just sold players away. Like, it's inexcusable. The previous series against the Nationals, where they hadn't sold their players yet, but there was all the talks in the world that they were going to sell, which obviously messes with the mental of a locker room. You split that series. Inexcusable. After this past weekend, the Phillies should have at least won 2 of 3 or have swept the Pirates like playoff teams are supposed to do, but that's the question. Are the Phillies a playoff team, yes or no? And obviously a lot of people, I think, are leaning no right now. So for the person that says, Andrew's going to say they're in a good spot, well, I will say they're still just 3.5 back of the Mets. And I will say that this is a huge, huge week. Because here's the deal. It's one of these really weird situations. And basically the question, I know Tyrone Johnson does the word of the day. And if I were to do that today, if I were to rip off Tyrone Johnson, I'd say belief. And whether or not there is any belief left with the Phillies, whether you believe in the Phillies, yes or no, right? That would be the word of the day for me. But it's basically just going to turn into a question, whether or not you do. Because they are in a spot where at the end of the week, if everything goes perfectly, which nothing's been perfect this season, but if everything goes perfectly, you could be up. If you sweep the Mets, which I'm not saying will happen, you couldn't win a series against the Pirates, so I'm not going to sit here and say, play this on Junis train. No, the train is in the shop. The train, we're currently getting estimates on the train. I need to see how much I need to shell out for the train, whether it's worth it or not, because I might just sell it for scraps. But this is a week of estimates that we're going to be getting. This is no more fandom, no more hype, no more homerism, if you want to call it that. The only reason why I'm wearing the hat today is because I had a pretty crappy morning. So I had to get up, rolled out of bed, didn't have time to do anything. So I'm just wearing the hat because it's the first thing I saw walking out the door. So I'm literally wearing a shirt that I went to bed in last night, and I'm wearing a Phillies hat because it's the first thing I saw because my hair was disheveled. So here we are now, getting to talk about the lovely Philadelphia Phillies. They're about to play 4 games against literally the AAA Nationals because they traded everybody away. Everybody from Washington is gone. And then they got the weekend series with the Mets. The Mets have 4 games with the Marlins. The Marlins probably don't give the Mets fits like the way they give the Phillies fits, but who knows? We'll see. But I need to ask you, at 610-632-0975, first things first, right out the gate, do you have any belief yet left? Because I'll say it again, I'll say it over and over again. The rest of this week, they could win 3 straight against the Nationals. I'm keeping my mouth shut. This is business week. This is estimate week. I'm not going to get hyped. I'm not going to stay on the chair. I'm not going to say Chunis train and play the song. I'm not doing it. No, Connor's looking at me funny. No, I'm serious. Because last week was such a disaster that I can't do any hype left. Right now, this is estimate week. Now, here's the other thing. They did get better at the deadline. And this will lead into the complaining just to complain conversation because they did get better. And a lot of people are saying, well, they should have been bigger buyers. Well, here's the deal. They had nothing to sell. Nothing. I told you I did not want to get rid of Mick Abel. The Bryson Stotts of the world, I don't care. Who knows if we ever see them? I'm sure Stott will be a Major League ball player, but we said about Mickey Moniak, and look at him. So, Spencer Howard gets traded. And my God, I loved the tweets prior to the 4 o'clock deadline, or when did the trade happen? I was listening to you when you said it on the air, the terms. Around 3 o'clock on Friday?
Yeah, like 3:15.
Yeah, I was listening to you when I was driving to the live casino to check in, because I had the bachelor party this weekend. Live casino, great spot. I would check it out. And I'm listening to you talk about the terms. And my initial reaction was, wow, they gave up on this kid already, huh? And then I immediately thought back to the constant ripping I did, the constant ripping that Anthony's done, the constant ripping that every Phillies fan has done about Spencer Howard. There is no Spencer Howard love left in the city, or there wasn't up until Friday at 3:15. Friday 3:16, when you find out the trade happened, all of a sudden Spencer Howard should have been left untouchable, which I don't understand, because we were making fun of the guy being gassed running 90 feet down the bases. We were making fun of the damn peanut butter sandwich that he gave credit to for pitching 4 innings, not 3, because 3 was his max. He went 4 one night, was asked about it, and told Jim Salisbury, I believe it was, at least I read his story, that it was the peanut butter sandwich that gave him the extra inning. It would have been funny if he pitched 7 that day. Like, oh, I ate a peanut butter sandwich. I went 7 today. No, he went 4. He went 1 more inning and credited a peanut butter sandwich. But Friday at 3:16, after the terms came out about the trade, all of a sudden, Spencer, how could you give up on this kid already? What are you talking about? We were just ripping the guy constantly, and now all of a sudden you wish that they held on to him. For what reason? You brought in a guy that gave you 6 innings of work his first outing, and they won the game. And their biggest problem this year, well, I don't know if I can say their biggest problem because they have a handful of them, but I would say their biggest problem is the inconsistency in terms of the amount of innings a starting pitcher can give on this team. You will never win a division if 3 out of your 5 starters on a given week might combine for 7 innings. Velasquez, Matt Moore, Spencer Howard. Those 3 starting pitchers could possibly give you 7 innings in a week. Not 7 each. 7 innings in total. That's how bad it's been at points this season. So when I see the people complaining that, oh my God, they got rid of Spencer Howard, how could they do that? What are you missing? Like, what are you missing about Spencer Howard now? He's a joke. And then he talks his press conference with the Rangers, and he talks about, I'm so happy to be here. Why? What were the Phillies doing to you? It's not their fault that you're out of shape at the age of 24, 25, however the hell old you are. It's not their fault that you run 90 feet and you're gassed. Kyle Gibson scored from first base the other day and then pitched 4 more innings. So there's one complaining just to complain. The other one, and I heard a lot of this over the weekend. I saw it on Twitter. I heard it on the radio. I heard callers complaining about it. I think people are starting to turn the page and start liking Nick Sirianni all of a sudden, but there are still a lot of people that have doubts. And I still can't help but think you're crazy to have had doubts from a guy because of his introductory press conference. Was he, was it funny? Yes. Was it aggravated because he's your head coach as an Eagles fan? Yes. But you can't tell me that an introductory press conference would be enough to make you determine whether or not a guy's going to be a good coach in the NFL. You can't. Bill Belichick looks disheveled up there every single day. One of my favorite photos, and I send it to Jamie all the time, is the photo of Bill Belichick where he literally has holes in his shirt, and he's looking like this for the YouTube audience. And all he's saying is, next question. And that guy's considered one of the greatest coaches of all time. Rightfully so, I get it. But Nick Sirianni, because he said rock, paper, scissors, because he said the word competitive 15 times in a span of 20 seconds, all right, but we're complaining. So last week was the first week of training camp. And he sat veterans on day 3. It's not Lehigh anymore. It's not 1990 anymore. Whether that's good or bad, it's not the same as it was. Chip Kelly kind of changed the game. The way he did music in practice, the smoothies, giving guys days off, the sports science, wearing the weird heart things, whatever the hell he did, he kind of changed the game. Chip Kelly might have been psycho, but now other teams are doing it. So Nick Sirianni, I'm sure, has some sort of plan in place where day 3, veterans were sitting and not participating in training camp. It's not Nick Sirianni's fault that Jalen Reagor and Dallas Goedert could not pass their conditioning test. It has nothing to do with Nick Sirianni. It's not like Dallas Goedert went, oh man, I hated this hire. I'm not going to work out this offseason. Jalen Reagor wasn't like, screw this guy. He said rock, paper, scissors. I'm not going to work out. I'm going to show up out of shape, see what he says. No. And then I also saw the Derek Gunn tweet. He was at the 3rd day of training camp. No veterans were participating, mind you. And he tweeted out that they still have a lot of work to do. And people took that and ran with it. Like, oh my God, the Eagles are in trouble. They're over under 6.5 wins. A, so what do you expect? B, I don't care that day 3 of a new head coach may have a little bit of work to do. He also stopped practice that day and brought them in, told them they were playing like crap, like a good head coach would, and they went out there and finished the job. 3 days into training camp, I already see people going, I don't trust this guy, this Sirianni. 3 days into training camp, can we get to a game? Can we get? I'll give you a preseason game, but can we get to at least a preseason game before you say I'm out on Nick Sirianni because the 3 days of training camp looked a little rough? Oh, Jalen Hurts looks, he looks a little shaky out there. He was a 4th-round grade. He got drafted in the 2nd round. What are you expecting? Like, this is my problem with the people that thought the Eagles could possibly win 10 games this year, because you're going to get your hopes so high that when they look bad, you're going to want to fire this guy, fire that guy, cut this guy, trade get that guy. They're not going to be that great of a team this year. Do I think they are going to be awful? No. 6.5 wins over under in Vegas, I think is perfect. I think they'll be competitive. I will literally put them to where the Panthers were last year. The Panthers were losing games by a touchdown, seemed like every single week. They had a bad record, but they were competitive. And that's all I'm asking for this year, because my expectations are not high. So I want you to guys jump in today, 610-632-0975. That's what we're going to start with. A, belief. Do you have any left with this Phillies team? I am off the Chunas train because it's in the garage getting estimates. We're figuring it out. This is business week, man. I can't see them go 2-5 this week, or 3-4, or 4-3. I need, is 5-2 fair to say? 3 wins against the Nationals, or at least 4 wins against the Nationals, and then you get 1 against the Mets. Now, preferably, you would win that series to gain some ground in the NL East. But they still have that shot. But after this weekend, after that series with the Nationals, where they were trading guys left and right, I can't sit here and lie to you and say, oh, no, believe, give it 1 more week. Give it 1 more week. No. Obviously, I'm going to watch all week, and obviously they are in striking distance. But I can't go hype man. Now, Connor, you looked at me funny when I first said that in the beginning of the show. Connor Thomas sitting in my chair today. Why?
So you're telling me if they come out and they win the next 3 games against the Nationals, and let's say the Mets drop 2, that you're not going to come in here on Thursday and be ready for the train?
I'm going to be ready for the series against the Mets, who is the team in front of you. I expect the Phillies to win at least 3 against the Nationals because the Nationals have sold everyone.
But
they sold everyone, Connor.
Exactly. And yes, I completely get that.
I saw somebody tweet out. I saw somebody tweet out. It was great. A photo of Juan Soto, like his player picture, and it's Juan Solo now because he's the only guy left. Everybody is gone.
No, I get that, but you just got 1 hit by a team that was worse than the Nationals before and sold people.
Okay, so if the Phillies all of a sudden put up 5 hits against the Nationals, I'm supposed to get excited?
Not 5 hits, but listen, they just put up 15. Like, if they go ahead and they rout the Nationals like 3 games in a row, and Thursday rolls around, and they're like a game and a half back of the Mets, you still need a day for the estimate? You still got to wait for the estimate?
Yeah, because I might get a second opinion. I might not like that. I might not like that train repair.
The train got a torn ACL?
Yes, I might.
Gotta go see a different doctor.
Listen, there might be a better train company that might give me a better estimate. No, I'm serious. And if I do, I allow you to smack me in the face.
Wow.
Deal?
Okay. Sure.
I will allow you to smack me in the face.
Didn't want to have to take it that far, but sure.
If Anthony says play the song, all right, I'll play the Earth, Wind, and Fire, but I'm not going Chunas Train song. We're getting second opinions. And that includes a sweep of the Nationals because then they have to face the Mets.
4-game sweep, and you're not, like, the train isn't chugging at all. It's not rolling again. It's not pulling out of the garage.
No, here's the deal, because let's just say the best thing happens, Connor. Phillies sweep the Nationals. Mets get swept by the Marlins. The Phillies are now a half game up, if my math is correct.
Yes.
So they're a half game up. Going into the Mets series, what in the history of the Phillies this season, and quite frankly my life, tells me that they won't then get swept by the Mets?
My life. Come on. They won the World Series in your lifetime.
13 years ago, Connor.
I get it. It was a while ago in my life. Don't act like you didn't see one of the best couple years of Phillies baseball in history.
I know, dude.
This team has beaten you down that far? Come on.
They lost to the Pirates 2-3.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And I'm not on the train with you, but I'm here looking at you. Chunas is on the therapy bed right now.
Okay.
And I'm telling you.
Should I put my feet up?
Yeah, throw your feet up.
All right.
Because this is your train. There's a lot of people out there that depend on you. And I know you're hurting after losing 2 or 3 to the Pirates.
But it's in the shop. I don't want you sitting on the train when it's in the shop.
No,
you might get in the way of the guys.
But you're giving it too much time for the second opinion. Like, they suck.
There's a big train.
But if that scenario happens, and I don't think it will, but I'm saying if that scenario happens and they win 3 or 4, or they sweep the Nationals in a 4-game series, that train's coming out before the Mets series. You're going to be on there. And people need you to be on there.
All right, maybe I'll open the doors, but it's not chugging. I need to see what happens against the Mets this weekend.
Okay.
Because I'm Again, I'm only wearing the hat right now because my hair was disheveled. That's the only reason why I'm wearing it. I almost wore I had one other hat in my car. This is by the front door all the time. But I had a hat in my car, and it's from my Sunday league yesterday, literally covered in sweat and dirt. And I was like, I can't do that.
Had to go Phillies hat.
I might as well go with the Phillies hat that's a little bit more presentable. It's got some sweat stains on it, but it's a little more presentable than the PAB hat.
I think you look
Philadelphia
great,
Amateur Baseball League. Thank you.
Fine.
I appreciate it. The other thing, and we have 2 open lines. You can grab them at 610-632-0975. The complaining just to complain. Now, I'm sure the two examples I gave you aren't the only two out there, but it's just the ones that I've seen over the weekend because they're the most recent. Spencer Howard gets traded, a guy that we made jokes of daily, but he gets traded, and then people thought that the Phillies should have gotten Max Scherzer for him. Like, no, the guy's a joke. I can't go the Ben Simmons of baseball, but the guy's 25 years old and is so unathletic that when he runs 90 feet, his velocity dips 4 miles per hour, which is just ridiculous. It is crazy. And then the Nick Sirianni thing, there's going to be a lot of question marks, a lot of concerns. But you know what? Those won't be answered 3 days in a training camp. Calm down. All of you, relax. Calm down. It could be really bad this year. It could be as expected. It could be better than expected. I don't think it's a 10-win season, but hell, maybe it is. 3 days in a training camp, we got to relax here.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And with the Sirianni thing, like, listen, I was kind of in the camp of the people that you were talking about. When I first heard his introductory presser and the ones following him, I was never sitting here saying, oh, he's going to be a terrible coach because he stutters a little bit on Zoom and he doesn't seem like he handles press conferences well. But when that was all we had to go on for a guy that's never been a head coach at any level, and we don't know what type of plays he's going to run, anything about his offensive scheme, he's got one of the youngest staffs in the history of the NFL. Like, when that's all you have to go on, it's hard to be positive about the guy.
But here's the thing, Connor. You're saying what bothered me the most, and I'm sorry to cut you off. That's all we had to go on. All right, so we're going to, again, complain just to complain. Oh, my God, the guy sounded like a bumbling idiot during his introductory press conference. Well, that's all I have, so he must be bad coach.
Right. No, you're right. The issue is not the complaint. The issue is the level of complaining that people are taking it to.
Yeah, I mean, people thought in these walls, the day it was happening, I heard from multiple people, wow, this guy he doesn't have what it takes. And I was like, really?
Yeah, like, that's crazy. I was like, well, I wish he handled that a little bit better and looked a little bit more comfortable in the situation. But, like, taking it to that extreme, like, you can be negative on the guy. We're not saying you have to love Nick Sirianni. What we're saying is you can't go out and say, they're going to win 2-3 games because 3 days into training camp and a couple press conferences down, the guy might seem like a fish out of water to you. And honestly, to me, I skew more positive on him right now.
Yeah, me too. Well,
I think the story's coming out.
Negative, really.
Yeah, the story's coming out of camp. Like, he's handling it like a head coach should. He's stopping practice to...
It looked bad, so he stopped practice. Oh, wow, this team has a long way to go. I love you, D-Gun, but yeah. It was the day all the veterans were sitting, and it was like all these rookies and undrafted free agents and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
And then, but people... It wasn't even D-Gun's tweet, right? It was then the responses that were like, see? I told you this guy didn't have what it takes when I first heard him talk. And I'm like... Hold on. Can we get to a preseason game? For crying out loud.
Yeah, like, you could be wary of him as a head coach. You could be worried about it. You could even think, I don't think he's going to be that good. But to condemn him as being a terrible head coach 3 days into practicing with his team, it's just absurd. We're jumping the gun again, and we do it too much, and we do it all the time here. And it's just give the guy a chance to breathe. Let him get a week's worth of... It wasn't even a full week's worth of training camp done. And people are already condemning him to being a bad coach and this team to stinking.
Now, do you like happiness?
I love happiness.
Sorry for ruining it for you. Devontae Smith listed as week-to-week with a knee sprain. That just came out.
Great.
I just saw Tim McManus and Jeff McClain tweet it. Jeff McClain said that the team did not overly concerned. Okay.
Throw it all out. The team's going to stink. The coach is going to stink. This organization...
Exactly.
No.
It's Nick Sirianni's fault.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, that's
2 open lines, 610-632-0975, 10 o'clock hour, brought to you by Winning Nation. Take advantage of Winning Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows, plus make no down payment with no payments, no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. You can jump in 610-632-0975. I'll check out some YouTube comments as well as some tweets on the other side. He's Connor Thomas. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. We'll be back on Wednesday right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies pepper the Pirates. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by NJM Insurance Group. A lot of insurance companies use jingles and mascots, but not NJM. When you're upfront with your customers, you don't need gimmicks. NJM, just great insurance. Get a quote today at njm.com. The Phillies routed the Pirates 15-4 yesterday in a big win to salvage one game in the series at least. They lost that series 2-1 against the Pirates. JT Realmuto had 5 hits and 4 RBIs in the win. Stop me if you heard this one before. The Phils are only 3.5 games back in the Mets, where they've been for most of the second half of the season, but they start a big 4-game series against the Washington Nationals in Washington tonight. First pitch is at 7 p.m. Ranger Suarez takes them out against Josiah Gray. As you just heard Andrew mention, Devontae Smith now listed as week to week with a knee sprain. That report, along with others, will come up at 4:30 on the Mike Missinelli Show as Tim McManus joins the program to give his daily training camp report. NBA free agency begins tonight at 6 p.m. Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott are all unrestricted free agents for the Sixers. We'll keep you updated on any moves that happen over the coming weeks. Keep it locked right here for all your latest news and information. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz. Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
There is a place outside of Philadelphia where the aroma of freshly baked bread brings you back to more traditional times. The era when families join together to enjoy an authentic old world taste with traditional recipes and fresh ingredients. That time and place still exists at Corpoli's Italian Bakery and Deli. Since 1924, now 4 generations and 4 locations. The Corpoli's family has been bringing you back to a more nostalgic time by sharing their favorite recipes and consistently adding new flavors for new traditions. While Corpoli's Italian Bakery and Deli is well known for their famous tomato pie, voted best in Philadelphia, nothing compares to their fresh baked bread and strombolis, handmade pastries, cookies, pies, and a wide range of custom cakes. For a list of locations and all your party needs, explore more at CorpolisBakery.com.
Well, the summer heat, that means it's time to crank up the AC again. And to keep your home cooling more efficient and to help you save on high energy bills, I suggest you go to Gaida and finally replace those old drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Gaida Door and Window, because right now, Gaida is offering their best discounts of the year. Their big 40% off summer sales event on expertly installed windows and doors. You'll get 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient, triple-pane windows. And also, you'll get 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today. No money down. Paid off interest-free for up to 18 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Guide It today. Take advantage of these limited-time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate. The number, 1-877-GO-GUIDA. Or check them out online at GoGuida.com. That's GUIDA.com.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash-out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is licensed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Banking. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Your experience matters. At University of Phoenix, relevant life experience and eligible transfer credits can help you earn your degree faster and for less. In fact, undergrads who apply these credits, on average, save about 1 year and $11,000. Get the credit you deserve for time spent in the classroom, on the job, and in life. And see how much you can save at phoenix.edu. That's phoenix.edu.
Hey, when people make a decision to be healthier, it's usually something people want to start right away. That's why same-day delivery with Squeeze.com is the perfect kickoff to a weight loss campaign. If you order by 1 p.m., you're going to get your juices by 9 p.m. the same day right at your door. Now, you're going to feel more energized, less bloated. You'll notice you may lose some inches, and you can sleep better. Squeeze.com is the best juice cleanse on the market, so give it a try today. You go to Squeeze.com, you click Mike Missing the drop-down at checkout.
Are we ready for the 5:30 pickup?
Cam's Courier Service's newest hire delivered his resignation.
Hey, Ray, who's handling
She now needs next-day shipping on a new driver.
all these boxes here? Are they ingoing or are they outgoing?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Lowe's, we know your home is an expression of you, and we see you walking down these aisles of possibility, running your finger on that marble top Allen & Roth vanity, regularly $5.99, but now $3.49, and finding that perfect rattan pendant at an everyday low price of $99.98. In our showrooms of style, you'll find whatever you're into at a price you'll really get into. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate at Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 8/29/21. U.S. only.
Hey guys, it's Bob Cooney. You want to grab a beer with me? Then meet me at Live Casino. That's right. Beers with Bob is hitting the road. Join me this and every Wednesday at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. We start at 6 and we'll cover everything from the teams, moves, lines, and of course, we'll have some beers. I'll see you Wednesday at Live Casino and Hotel. Luxury hotel, gaming, bars, and restaurants in the heart of South Philly. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Fan Fest 2021 is on Saturday, September 18th at Xfinity Live. Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook and Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Go to 975thefanatic.com for more details.
Brought to you by Window Nation. For replacement windows, doors, siding, and more. Visit windownation.com or call 866-90-NATION.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
10:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for Anthony. He's on vacation. He will be back on Wednesday. My God. A lot of people just think something happened because of the whole Brocano thing. He's on vacation.
Oh, my God. It's the Brocano.
He will be back on Wednesday. I am being honest to God. He'll be back on Wednesday. My Lord.
Man can't take 2 days off?
No, apparently not. It's summertime. He will be back on Wednesday. If you're just tuning in, yes, Devontae Smith, week to week with a knee sprain. So here's the deal, and I don't want to go too far in the doom and gloom with this. I don't know if it was a Doug Peterson thing. I don't know if it was a mandate from the Eagles thing. I don't know what it was. But week to week in Eagles land is worse than we'll check every other week. Like, Darren Sproles, again, I don't want to go too doom and gloom, but I just have to call it. Darren Sproles was week to week when they then found out he had a torn ACL. And it was done. I'm pretty sure Chris Maragos was week to week. He didn't play for 2 years until and then he announced his retirement.
Why do you have to do that?
I'm just saying, I hate when they, I wish teams... Let me ask you something, Connor. And this could also be a conversation at 610-632-0975. I'm dead serious about this. Do we wish teams were a little more honest?
Oh, absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
The week-to-week thing, yeah, it sounds like, oh, man, it's worse than day-to-day, but all right, he'll be back in a month, right? Come the start of the season. I just know following this Eagles team week-to-week has meant a lot longer than a few weeks. So I kind of wish they were more honest. I understand the game that they have to play in terms of other teams scouting, but it's August 2nd. It's not...
What game are you playing in preseason?
Exactly. So I don't know why they would lie.
I don't know that they're lying. I think it's a lack of information at this point. Yeah. I think they're not sure what to call it. But once you have the information, it's not like they're going to immediately come out. Let's say it actually is a knee sprain. And when they do that, they'll take the MRI or do whatever. I don't know if they're doing an MRI. I don't know how serious it is at all. All we literally know is he's a knee sprain week to week. But when they do that, they're going to have more information. They're not going to report it to us. They're not going to say, the doctor said, 7 days and he's good.
Unless the unfortunate is that surgery's required. That's the only time we will actually get real. And I get it. They want to keep things hidden.
I don't get it. Let's say he's okay and he's going to play in a week. Wouldn't you want to ease instead of getting all these tweets and mentions and all the reporters asking and the fan base up in arms, wouldn't you just want to say, guys, he's going to be back in a week. Right now it looks like he's fine. But they don't do that.
Of course I would like that. I mean, you watch.
And even if you're the team, wouldn't you want to do that?
There's 2 injuries in hockey.
Upper body, lower body.
That's it. There's 2 injuries. And we have no idea what that means. I just know that it's waist down or waist up. That's all I know.
Dude could have gotten decapitated.
Upper body injury, man.
We'll reevaluate.
We'll let you guys know how he's doing in the next couple of days. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wonder if people wish that teams were a little bit more honest. I understand the game that they have to play, but I don't know. Week to week, what the hell does that mean? And week to week in Eagles land has been a lot worse than what it might sound.
Yeah, that's Sixers will reevaluate in 2 weeks territory.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I dealt with that for a long time. Nicole White on the YouTube chat. She goes, she's not a Phillies fan. But Andrew used the word if too much regarding the Phillies. Well, yeah. There's a lot of ifs with this team. I'm not ready to close the door on the season. I heard Bob this morning. Bob said he's pretty much done, right? Because he's we've done this multiple times where let's get to the All-Star break or the homestand after the All-Star break or this weekend. And I totally understand it. I can't shut the door because they did get better at the deadline. They brought in a starting pitcher. They brought in a closer. They got better at the deadline. And the Mets are still only 3.5 games up. The Mets got better with Javi Baez.
Mets got a lot better.
They got a lot better with Javi Baez. And I liked the Rich Hill acquisition for him prior to the deadline. So the Mets got better. But I can't sit here on August the 2nd when there's still a lot of baseball to be played, when you're just 3.5 back, and you have a series with the Mets coming up this week, and I can't say season over. Right? I can't. I can't say season over. I'm not saying Phillies fan me says not season over. I'm saying legitimately I can't say the season is over.
I don't know. I'm closer to Bobby on this one. I give him a week. And the way you're seeing the week, you're doing the estimates and everything, positive, I think there can be positives drawn out. If they take 3 or 4 from the Nationals, I'm cool with that. I'm back in. But right now, I'm pretty close to closing the door because how do you go out and you tell us by what you do at the trade deadline that you're a buying team, that you're close and you want to make a push, and then you go out and you get one hit by the Pittsburgh Pirates?
It's awful.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
And expect us to leave the door open? This team is repeatedly trying to show us what they are, and they still have time to turn it around. And stupidly, I'm giving them another week because I think if I was a more level-headed fan and not as pro Phillies as I am, I'd be out on them like Bob.
But wouldn't more level-headed go, yeah, the Phillies have flaws, but they're better than the Nationals?
No, because they're not better than the Mets. I don't care if they're better than the Nationals. They're not better than the Mets.
Yeah, but once you get to that Mets, I'm just saying, if they go 3 or 4, I'm not getting excited until this week is over. I will find out whether or not I'm excited or I'm done. But you can't say right now, as bad as that series was, that the season is over when they're still there. If they go 2-2 against the Nationals, done.
It's the expecting something you haven't seen from someone.
Right, and here's the problem. You have Ranger Suarez pitching tonight, which he's been good, but we want to talk about not stretched out arms. The guy hasn't started a game since 2018, I believe.
Yeah, but he's facing a guy that hasn't thrown in the majors yet.
Right, but and you know what? That's probably bad for the Phillies. Let's be honest. And then Velasquez is the Game 3 start of this series, so that's why I'm not getting excited. I am letting the week play out. Fair?
Yeah, I think you're giving it too much for the week, though. See, on the positive side, I think it could skew positive at the end of the National Series. But the negative side, I'm almost there already. We're like a game or 2 away.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Mr. Snuffy, who's also the sports god who calls in, says he's sitting there thinking of ways to give Devontae Smith his knee. Now, Mr. Snuffy, you are the sports god. He probably can just do it, right?
Yeah, isn't he omnipotent?
Yeah.
Omnipresent?
Come on, man.
Just do it. I'll talk about it. Be about it, Sports God.
Let's go. Take care of it. Let's go to the phones. Talk to John in the cell. John, you're on the Fanatic.
Jonas, let me say it for you. The season is over.
Yeah, you were out a couple weeks ago when I think they just beat the Cubs, right? They took 3-4 to the Cubs, and you were out, man.
I told you, Jonas, 2 weeks ago I'd be calling in. I wish it was the Cubs today, but you were the same thing. They suck. They did, and what did they do with the trade deadline? Dombrowski, and I'm going to call him Dombrowski, did nothing. You got us a pitcher that's a 500 career pitcher and a 36-year-old closer. Are you kidding me? What kind of arms did we get?
I will play devil's advocate here.
Go right ahead.
Yes, you brought in a 36-year-old closer, but John, you brought in a closer. That's number one. Number two, I know he has a 500 career record, but he's pitching. He was in the All-Star game this year. He was in consideration for AL Cy Young. I mean, the guy has been pitching very well this year, and I get it was a crappy Pirates team, but he pitched well in his first outing.
Right, and Dombrowski screwed up the trade with the Pirates. And let's see what else.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They were reportedly angry about what happened there. I don't know what happened. Part of me thinks, John, and it's conspiracies or whatever, that the Mariners all of a sudden go, oh, wait a minute, this guy's up for grabs. Let's send him this offer, and then the Pirates come up with a BS excuse about an injured player.
Well, it could be, Jonas, but I want you to think about this. What are we left with in our starting rotation if Eflin comes back? He stinks. You just said Velasquez again is going out there. Are you kidding me?
Well, I would imagine when Eflin comes back, Velasquez is out of the rotation.
He shouldn't even be pitching for the R-Phils.
John,
Velasquez.
He shouldn't be in Major League Baseball, period.
You're correct. But yet, Jonas, we're putting him out there every fifth day. What are we missing? You know what? I just want to say this before you hang up on me. Mr. Moneybags, like he claims to be, stupid money, he literally has to go out this offseason and spend $1 billion.
But John, here's the thing. I can't rip Middleton. I appreciate the call, man. I always love talking to John. John was a daily caller to the Fanatic Baseball Show, RIP. And, Middleton is spending the money. Here's the problem. It just hasn't been smart. And here's the other problem. He wasn't smart hiring Klentak. Matt Klentak was in the Angels organization when their GM got fired. And he was not hired for the job. So the Phillies picked him up and gave him the keys to the world of analytics. And I don't think analytics are the death of sports, but if you've ever listened to this show, you know how I feel about it. I think people overvalue analytics. I think they overdo it with the analytics. I really do. And, I forget who said it, but I think it was Theo Epstein. Theo Epstein, like a few weeks ago, said that people are now overdoing analytics. One of the more prominent president of baseball operations in Major League Baseball, right? He is saying teams are overdoing it with analytics. Duh. I'm not Theo Epstein. As Anthony says, I'm just some dude on the radio. And I could have pointed that out to a lot of teams, including the Phillies. However, the Phillies were just late doing it, and now they're going to be late leaving the analytics party, which is an absolute problem. So I don't know. I can't blame Middleton in terms of the money because he has spent a ridiculous amount of money. He's not in the salary or in the luxury tax because he was able to get some money back from the Rangers for the trade. Good move on him, I guess. But it's not like they haven't spent money.
No, like they have a high payroll. They're not and I know you just lost 2 of 3 to these guys, but they're not the Pittsburgh Pirates where you sell good players just because you don't want to pay them. They're not the Miami Marlins where they're just dishing out prospects left and right or good players at their major league system because they don't want to have to pay these guys. Like they've paid like a big market team.
I have it right in front of me. 5th highest payroll in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Dodgers 1, which I'm pretty sure Dodgers-Yankees, that's 1-2 right now, will forever be 1 and 2. The Mets are 3rd because they have the owner who's going to spend...
Yeah, Steve Cohen, who's worth more than like the rest of the league combined.
Exactly. So I could see them jumping up to the 1 or 2 spot, but you'll either have 2 New York teams or 1 New York team. It might be the Mets. And then the Astros are 4th because they have all those guys who won with them. I imagine at some point Houston will drop out once other guys leave. But the Phillies are 5th. So I can't sit here and say Middleton hasn't spent enough. he clearly has.
Yeah. Now, if you think he spent the money in a dumb way, and
yes, that's fine.
And that's not even really on him. It's partially on him because he has to sign off on the signings and everything like that. But that's partially on the GM, and a lot of it goes back to Klentak. And sure, Dombrowski's been head of this team through a little bit of the offseason and now one trade deadline. But you got to give the guy some time. Like, this team stinks at times.
Yeah.
They may be able to win a bad division because they made a couple moves at the deadline and that could fall apart.
And that's what started the whole damn train thing.
But Dombrowski is not going to turn around a team that was just had the worst bullpen in the history of baseball last year and fell apart in the clutch and had to move on from a manager and a pitching coach and a hitting coach. He's not going to turn that around in 1 year.
Right.
So give these guys time.
And Jared Thomas tweets in, why are people bitching about this trade? We got 2 decent pitchers for a guy that pitches 12 innings a month and sucks. Not only that, they gave up other guys that, like Kevin Galley might not have ever pitched in the major league. He might not have. Right? They didn't give up much, and they also got a decent prospect in return who, believe it or not, is their 4th highest prospect already.
Yeah.
In the Phillies farm
Slotted
system.
right in top 5.
So if you are on the buyer side or the seller side leading up to the deadline, you kind of got the best of both worlds because you brought in a prospect, you brought in an arm as a buyer who will still be here next year. And then Ian Kennedy's here for the rest of the season, but you needed a closer. Now, I would have still welcomed probably a trade for Andrew McCutchen, trading away Andrew McCutchen. And that's me coming from a guy who thinks that they still have an opportunity to win the division. Why? Because it's the final year of his deal. You probably could have gotten something for him. And he's not probably going to be back next year. Maybe he is for a lot less money. But that was probably like the only guy. If you were as an organization thought you could still win the division, but you wanted to sell off a piece, that would have been the only guy.
Yeah.
Even though he's a pretty big part of your lineup right now.
Yeah, he's hitting pretty well. And I'm with you. And I was on the sell side just while we're on this conversation. Like, I wanted them to sell. And I was upset when they made the move for Gibson and Kennedy because I didn't think this team was close enough that those two guys are going to make up the difference. But it wasn't because the trade itself was a bad move. Like, you moved the prospect, and we talked about it already with the Spencer Howard thing. You moved a guy who looks like he does not have the stamina to be a starting pitcher at the major league level.
Got very good stuff for the first inning.
A guy who's in Double-A, who's had injury issues, who's, 23, 24 in Double-A, who may not ever make it to the majors, and another minor league arm for 2 guys who are proven pitchers at the major league level, having great years, and another prospect who's top 5. Like, the trade was good. My issue was that I wanted them to sell because I don't think they're close enough. And I think you could have just held everybody, and a 33-year-old and a 36-year-old arm are not enough to help you as too short-term of a move. But the people who are like, how'd we trade Spencer Howard?
Yeah, I don't get that.
That doesn't make sense.
That's complaining just to complain, which is one of the topics today at 610-632-0975. Why do we do that? Why do we complain just to complain? I mean, if you want to tell me that Nick Sirianni's a mess, I'll hear you out, but I'll go, really? You know this, Hal? Like, what have you seen? By the way, Ryan Kerrigan now in the tent, shaking his right hand.
Great.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of the Phillies, we have a giveaway.
Oh, do we?
I'll explain more coming up. Let's go to Phil in South Jersey. Phil, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
What's up, Phil?
Not much. I just want to say that a lot of these people have a lot of things to say about this trade. It says to me that they don't really pay attention to baseball as a whole. They're kind of like the local fans. Both these guys we landed are solid, and they're going to be a difference maker for us. And, yeah, this past weekend, that series was ugly, especially Game 1. But I think it's hard for these players to keep on going out there and say, wow, we're playing from behind again. I think yesterday was promising. I think it showed with people going up there relaxed at the plate. And I'm with you. I think this week's going to be big. I still have hope. I think the month of August is going to be huge for us in a good way. And I just wanted to point out one thing. Your boy, Mikey Miss, had a lot of bad things to say about this trade when it first happened. So I had to call in and correct him on that, too. Because, like you said...
All right, well, we'll call in at 2 o'clock to talk to him, Phil. I appreciate the call. Call in at 2 o'clock. Talk to Mike at 2 o'clock. I mean, listen, Kyle Gibson is historically not the greatest arm. Like, he's having a breakout season for himself, right? And it's happening at the age of 33. So is this a guy that I think will sustain it the rest of the season? I have no idea. Like, I can't tell you. Is it because he was pitching in Texas? Is it because we'll see. All I know is one outing, he pitched well. The one outing, the Phillies won. The one outing, he pitched, 6 innings?
Yeah.
Which, when did Spencer Howard give you that?
Never.
Exactly. So, I can't help but go, all right, so far, so good. I'm not going to sit here and say anybody was wrong. I can't. And if you want to say somebody's wrong, call that show. That's all I'll say. And we'll find out. I mean, John, who called in earlier, to Phil's point, you brought in Ian Kennedy, who's going to help. John goes, they brought in a 36-year-old closer, and he was upset about it. My response, well, he's a closer. Because what have the Phillies lacked all this year and last year and the year before that and the year before that? A closer. So he brought in a guy, and if he's not going to be here next year, I imagine, and if he is, it's far less money. If you get to the playoffs because he had a nice stretch closing out games, great. You brought in a closer. I loved Ranger Suarez. Not really a typical closer. And he never pitched to close out a game in his career. It was kind of like, hey, you've been our best arm out of the bullpen. Can you do it now? And he actually did pretty good. I'll give him credit for it. A couple outings, he got beat up a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be a fascinating ride the rest of the season. But I'm really going to focus on this week. And I see Mike and Delran, who's on hold. He's going to tell me to get back on the damn train. And I can't wait to hear it because I'm glad there's somebody that's still out there with positivity. Ralph says the Phils are going to be still enjoyable. We just heard from Phil, who talked about the Phillies being a good spot. That's awesome. I'm glad that they're still on the train, but the train's in the shop right now. So if you want to come out and get some fresh air, the train's not going anywhere. It's getting estimates right now. There's a diner down the street. We can get some food, hang out.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I like a little diner meal.
Yeah, exactly. 610-632-0975. By the way, a lot of people mentioning that Chase Anderson may actually be replacing Vince Velasquez. I apologize. He's listed as the starter Wednesday on ESPN.
Yeah,
Velasquez is.
I was going to bring that up.
MLB.com's Chase Anderson, so I believe Chase Anderson is the correct guy. Here's what I'll say to that. All right. Yip-de-doo.
I mean,
give me 4 good ones. Give me 5 good ones.
Yeah. See, we haven't really seen extended Chase Anderson this year. We've seen a bit of him, but we've seen enough of Vince Velasquez. We know what he is. I'm all for, even if Chase Anderson, you look at him and you're like, it's kind of a wash because he hasn't been that great at any point. He's a middling starter. It's still not Vince Velasquez, and that's good enough for me.
Right, because Velasquez has been so far this year, which is crazy. Either incredible, legitimately incredible through 7 innings where nobody scores, or he's out after 2 innings. He's been I don't remember the last Velasquez outing where it's kind of been in the middle. He doesn't do middle. He implodes or he's Cy Young. Or he's great. Yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable. We got 2 open lines right now. You can grab them at 610-632-0975. I mentioned that we do have a Phillies giveaway. I'll explain what that is coming up at the start of the 11 o'clock hour. Also at the start of the 11 o'clock hour, the Ben Simmons stuff is never going to end. Until he is traded, it's never going to end. I have in my hand here from ESPN.com. And Connor, I found out as a man who is a Hulu Plus guy, apparently I get ESPN Insider stuff.
Really? You get that through Hulu?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Because you get ESPN Plus through the Hulu Plus or whatever, So all these times I've been trying to find other avenues to get some articles. I can now do it. And that's exciting because I have in front of me 5 trade options for Ben Simmons. 5 different ESPN NBA analysts gave their answers. And I'll explain to all those teams. A couple you'll like, a couple you'll be like, really? And then the last one is the biggest question. Whether or not those 2 guys, Beal and Lillard, if they're available, what do you ultimately do? And you know how I feel about it. But we'll talk about it coming up. 610-632-0975. FanFest tickets to giveaway as well. I'll explain the Phillies giveaway coming up next right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking for some wins in Washington. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. You may not always need a new water heater, but when you do, choose Bradford White. The Phillies took care of the Pirates yesterday in their series-ending game, beating them 15-4. It was an easy game, but they lost 2 of the 3 games in that series. They've got a big week coming up that starts with 4 games in Washington against the Nationals. First pitch of Game 1 is tonight at 7 p.m. That'll be taken by Rangers Suarez facing off against Josiah Gray. The Phillies sit just 3.5 games back of the Mets currently. NBA free agency begins tonight at 6 p.m. The Sixers have 4 unrestricted free agents on the team. Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott all await their futures, and we'll see if the Sixers bring anybody else in from the outside. The Eagles' first-round pick, Devontae Smith, unfortunately suffered a knee sprain at training camp today. He's listed as week-to-week. Tim McManus will have stuff on that, I'm sure, and more on Eagles training camp coming up in his training camp report at 4:30 on the Mike Missinelli Show. This update was also brought to you by NJM Insurance Group. A lot of insurance companies use jingles and mascots, but not NJM. When you're up front with your customers, you don't need gimmicks. NJM, just great insurance. Get a quote today at NJM.com. Keep it locked right here for all your latest news and information. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
What's up, Philly? It's Tyrone Johnson. With so much uncertainty surrounding the upcoming school year, now is the time to take charge of your child's education and give them the tools to make learning fun and safe. Check out Commonwealth Charter Academy, which can make a difference in your child's life. Commonwealth Charter Academy, or CCA, is a K-12 public cyber charter school with nearly 20 years of experience providing a flexible, stable online education in the comfort of your home. Enroll today at ccaeducate.me. Your child will receive a world-class accredited education streamed directly into your home at no cost to you. A laptop, headphones, assistance with accessing the internet, and learning materials all provided at no cost to you. A safe learning environment with no bullying or security concerns. Join the nearly 2,500 students from Philly who already attend CCA. The school year begins September 8th. Enroll now at ccaeducate.me. That's ccaeducate.me.
UFC 265 this weekend. It's cuz in DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC, is offering 100-1 odds on a punch being landed during either co-main events. Yeah, just pick any co-main event fighter you think's going to win. DraftKings Sportsbook will give you 100-1 odds on a punch landing during the event. That's right. Bet $1 on any co-main event fighter. If a punch lands during either co-main event fight, you will cash $100 in free credits. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code FANATIC when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits when you bet on any co-main event fighter to win and a punch is landed in either fight. That's code FANATIC only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce doubles, or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn, like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network, the one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a fast and reliable internet solution for just $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, get free installation when you order online. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to learn more. Offer ends 9/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second customers only. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Wi-Fi Pro Extra.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to Amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Are we ready for the 5:30 pickup?
Cam's Courier Service's newest hire delivered his resignation.
Hey, Ray, who's handling
She now needs next-day shipping on a new driver.
all these boxes here? Are they ingoing or are they outgoing?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Doordash here with Summer of Dash Pass. Right now, Dash Pass members are taking $10 off groceries, alcohol, pet food, and more. Need a nightcap? $10 off. Got a cough? Get relief delivered for less. Want to surprise your crush? Send a gift and save. Try Dash Pass for free and get special savings, exclusive menu items, and $0 delivery fees year-round. Get more from your neighborhood now with Dash Pass in the DoorDash app. And stay cool out there. Terms and conditions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a really big tree near your garage. Now, I'm a really big tree on your garage and car. And if you don't have the right insurance, the cost to fix this could leave you wishing money grew on trees. So bundle your home and auto with Allstate to save up to 25% and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Auto prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
.10:58, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. He'll be back on Wednesday. Connor Thomas sitting in my chair today. It just stinks right now. You know what I mean? I see injuries with the Eagles. The Phillies made trades that I wasn't like pounding my chest excited for, but they then lost 2 of 3 to the Pirates, which any excitement I did get, because I liked the trades. They were good moves. Then they lose 2 of 3 to the Pirates. And now we're just kind of waiting to see what the hell happens with Ben Simmons and the Sixers. And I had the 5 trades in front of me from ESPN.com, ESPN Plus, ESPN Insider, because I'm big time now, Connor.
You got the inside track.
I got the inside track.
The Chunas made it.
Yeah, I made it. I had to pay for it, but I made it. I'm getting inside information from ESPN.com for $8.99 a month. But Ben Simmons, the trades that they have. There's 5 teams. The first one, the Sacramento Kings. Now, I don't think this is happening because I saw over the weekend that the Lakers were trying to get Buddy Hield. But according to this story, literally came out at 8 o'clock on the dot. So we'll see what happens. The Kings get Ben Simmons, and that's it. Sixers get Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, and Marvin Bagley. Okay.
Yeah, I'd consider that.
I like Buddy Hield a lot.
And Halliburton had a hell of a rookie year last year.
So there you go. There's your guards, and you're set, I guess. The superstar swap with Portland is number 2. This is when the Sixers are selling away, and they're not getting, 5 people back, obviously. Portland gets Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, 2 first-round picks, and the Sixers get Damian Lillard. I know we love Tyrese. I'm still doing it.
Yeah, say less on that one.
Well, I mean, there's people that don't want to blow up the future. Listen, man. If you think that blowing up the future is trading Tyrese Maxey, who I love to, seems like an awesome kid, played with heart, was not afraid, unlike his other teammate that would be traded in spots. But there's no comparison between Tyrese Maxey and Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
And those 2 first-round picks are going to be late 20s.
Right. Not worried about the picks at all. Whatever.
Your 28th overall pick from just last week is a guard that has a lot of work ahead of him. A lot.
Right. And, you hit on Tyrese Maxey late. He was a later first-round pick. But they didn't have the tournament that year. You found a guy that potentially could have been higher. We went through the same thing when Landry Shamet was moved in the Tobias Harris trade. Because Landry Shamet got 3/4 of the way through his season, And you got to that trade deadline, and everyone's like, he's a shooter. He spaces the floor. We love him. And then he goes to the Clippers, and you get a guy who's a fringe all-star. And we're talking about Damian Lillard here. Yeah. Like, Maxi's better than Shamet, but Dame is way better than Tobias Harris. You got to give up.
Right. I don't think that should even be debated. Another trade with Portland, but no Damian Lillard. I'm out on this. I'm sorry.
I would say no.
I love C.J. McCollum, but so Ben goes to Portland. The Sixers get C.J. McCollum, Nasir Little, and a protected first-round pick. I don't know what the protected first-round pick would be. It doesn't say if it's top 10, top 15, top 18, whatever. Portland's going to win games. We can rip Ben Simmons all we want. Ben Simmons' defense and his ability to facilitate with Dame Lillard, I don't want to make Portland better. We can joke about Ben Simmons all we want. If he goes to Portland, that's a scary team.
Well, they're better. I don't know if they're scary.
It's pretty
but
scary.
But they're better.
I love C.J. McCollum. I do. But Ben and Dame is, I think, a better pairing than C.J.
I don't know. Defensively, Ben's good, but is he, what is he going to do offensively for you in the crunch
listen,
time?
That's a good point.
We don't know.
It could be right back to where we were.
He played with potentially the best basketball player on the planet this year, Joel Embiid, and he did enough to kind of derail that.
Yeah, but the spacing would be different.
Well, the spacing, yeah, but at the same time,
because Dame is the guy that you run the offense through, not Joel Embiid.
Yeah, but you have Seth Curry, Danny Green. The spacing was good in the regular season, and then Ben gets out there in the fourth quarter and he won't
you're right.
play. It's the whole reason he's getting traded.
I'm still not making that trade.
Yeah, me either.
Chicago. The Bulls get Ben Simmons. The Sixers get Zach LaVine and Thomas Satoransky, but they're going to have to make his contract fully guaranteed. Who gives a damn? But Zach LaVine is obviously the big name in that. My only concern, I've said this from the very beginning, is that I don't know if Tobias Harris and Zach LaVine can play together. I don't know. I'm sure there's a Tim Legler or some NBA analyst can go, nah, this is how it would work. But Zach LaVine, Tobias Harris, two guys that create their own shots. Tobias Harris, not the best spot-up shooter. LaVine, a better spot-up shooter, but also, I believe, a better ball handler than Tobias. So I go, is that going to work?
Yeah, if there's a Venn diagram there between Tobias Harris and Zach LaVine, there's a little bit of crossover. They occupy the same space on the floor here and there. I'm sure you can make a player like Zach LaVine work.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. He's talented.
That guy could work on any team. He's just that good of a player.
He used to be a point guard, right? Now he obviously grew and everything changed, but I don't know, dude. I have my concerns about whether or not those two guys can play together.
Yeah.
I love Zach LaVine. I would be thrilled if they got him, but I would still have my questions. How are these two guys going to fit?
Right, that's a yes, but that's not the best deal on the table. That's not the ideal situation. Okay. That's if Dame doesn't work out, sure, we'll take that.
Number 5. Minnesota. So the T-Wolves get Ben Simmons as well as George Hill. Ugh. The Sixers get D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, a 2022 protected first-round pick. It would be top 3 protected in 2022, top 2 protected in 23, and unprotected in 2024. 2024 would be a protected first-round pick 2 years after the 2022 pick is conveyed. Top 5, there's all these protections. I'm out.
I can't say no to that fast enough.
Malik Beasley looks like a fun player to watch. He improves his shot. I think he shot 40% from 3 last year. D'Angelo Russell, I kind of don't want any, you know what I mean?
I don't want to touch him with a 10-foot pole. No. I don't want him to travel to Philadelphia when the Timberwolves play the Sixers. Correct. Much less have him on this team in this locker. No, get out of here with that.
Exactly. So that was the Minnesota one. And one more, and we'll get to the phones in a second. Sean and Mike will talk some Phillies. I have a Phillies giveaway to mention as well. And you can climb in at 610-632-0975 to talk Phillies, but also these NBA trades for Ben Simmons. The last one, they just do a write-up. Deal or no deal. And the question was, this was posed by Kevin Pelton. If Beal and Lillard are off the table, do you just hold on to Ben Simmons, or do you try to find the best return outside of Portland and Washington? You know how I feel. I'm done. He cannot be back here. I don't want to go, well, if he returns, maybe his value will be better at the trade deadline. No, because you know what's going to happen? There'll be a top 3 seed at the deadline. and we'll talk ourselves into this will be the year, and it's going to happen again. And this is coming from a guy who defended Ben. I was crushing Ben all this past season, but whenever he did things well, I gave him credit, which then turned to me defending him somehow when I don't think 6-15 and 15 is a bad game, even though a lot of people thought it was. But I can't do it anymore. He can't come back. Now, I said the other day, and maybe it was Sunday morning when I do the show with Jamie. I was messed up. And I said, whatever the worst package is, I'd still take it. And the worst package was like Colin Sexton, Kevin Love because of the money, and a couple of picks. And it sounds so gross, but I just can't take Ben back. I can't.
Yeah. See, I'm with you. I don't think that the worst case scenario, like the Colin Sexton, Kevin Love picks package, I think they can do better than that. I firmly believe that.
They can. But I'm just so angry with this dude. I just can't have the guy back.
And
it's done here in Philadelphia.
Right. And the issue is he is a good basketball player. Like Ben Simmons, undeniably, I don't care how you feel about the dude personally. I don't care about him not taking the shots in the fourth quarter. Straight up, he is a good basketball player.
He's an all-star.
That is why he can't come back. Because the issue is not totally his ability. It's his mentality, and it's how the city views him now and how his teammates partially view him. You heard Joel Embiid when they asked him after the final game, after Game 7, of what the turning point of that game was, and he pointed to a certain someone giving up a dunk and not taking it. Like, it's not the ability, and if he comes back, it's exactly what you said. We can talk ourselves into him in regular season as a basketball player because he defends incredibly and he facilitates well. But just the relationship with the city and the team and the fan base it's
broken,
irreparable.
Dude, if I'm serious, if he's back here and the first home game, I hear Matt Cord, 6'10", I guess they call him guard at LSU, number 25, Ben Simmons, I expect there to be boos from the crowd. The only reason why there might not be is because it's the hype of the first game, but I expect there to be boos, man.
No, he'll get booed.
And you can't do that. You can't bring the guy back for, literally that sake. I mean, the city's done. I don't know how many people, I know there are still people that are saying you got to bring him back or you can bring him back or don't. I see somebody on the chat right now, where was it at? Somebody on the YouTube chat said, if you're not getting something back worth it, hold on to him. But then we're just going to do the same story all over again.
Right.
And I just, Mr. Snuffy, just hold on to Ben if you're getting a bad deal.
Well, the other thing is, let's say you bring him back and just the situation's awful. He doesn't want to be here. The city doesn't want him here. And he plays terribly. His value is decreasing. So when you try and move him at the trade deadline, let's say he completely shuts down because he's already said he's in lockstep with his agent, Rich Paul, about finding a new destination. So the situation becomes untenable, and then you get less for what the bad package would have been this offseason.
Yes.
You can't allow that to happen.
You can't. I hear you, man. Let's get back to the phone, 610-632-0975. Those Ben Simmons trades, I'll go through them again later on this hour. But there were 5 trades, and then the 6th option was, do you just hold on to if Beal and Lillard are off the table? They didn't even have a Beal trade in here. But if those guys are gone and are not on the table, I still got to move Ben. I got to get one of these deals out of the way. I can't have Ben Simmons back. Also, the Phillies conversation that we have today, whether or not you're still believing in this squad. And so far, we had one negative caller. A lot of people still on the train or, just confident in general. And I go, all right, good for you, man. This is business week. No more Homer Andrew, no more Hype Andrew, no more. I got to get through this week, see where the hell they are. I don't think the door is closed. But I can't sit here and go, let's play the song, Tunis Train, big week ahead. No, this is business week. And they have 4 at the Nationals coming up, the AAA Nationals. And then they have the weekend series with the Mets. Now, speaking of the weekend series with the Mets, Connor, and I know somebody said Andrew's using a lot of if with the Phillies. Well, yeah, duh. There's a lot of ifs with this team. If things go well this week, Sunday could be a monster day. 105 Phillies, Mets. Sunday could be a monster day with Zach Wheeler on the mound against his old team. All week long, each day, starting today, we have a pair of Phillies tickets to give away. Pair of Phillies Mets tickets for this Sunday, 105. It's Roy Halladay number retirement day. All fans receive a Halladay retired number statue. Get tickets at Phillies.com. So beginning today and through the rest of the week, we have a pair of tickets to give away. Although the train is in the shop this week, what I'm really hoping for is that as the week goes on, Connor, there's more and more people hungry for the tickets. Right now, on August the 2nd, the Monday leading into this week, I'm sure somebody who just wants to go to the ball game might want to try to win a ticket today. And it's very simple. Call in, talk Phillies. I'll put you in the running, right? Like I'm not doing any trivia. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Today's just a let's talk kind of day. Because I want to talk out this Phillies team because I think John, our first caller today, was irrational to think that John Middleton's not spending enough money, and I love John, but thinking that Middleton's not spending enough money, that the trade for Kyle Gibson was bad, I don't think that's true. But it's also not irrational to say that this team is not good. Like, you're probably right. Just like everybody who said Ben Simmons was never going to turn into a scorer in this league, you were probably right from the beginning until something unlocks, but that might never happen. So I want to just have a conversation about the Phillies. We got the complaining just to complain conversation up in the air, and also the Ben Simmons trades. We have a lot more coming up later on the show, but those are the three things we got going on so far. But just calling in will get you in the running for a pair of Phillies tickets for this Sunday's game at 105. And what I'm hoping is that as the week goes on, it's a hotter ticket that people want. So come Friday, when Anthony and I are doing the show, Anthony's back on Wednesday, come Friday, hopefully people are going to be lining out the door to try to get the tickets. Will it happen, Connor?
If they win a couple games, then yes, it will happen. I think they handle the Nationals. I do think they're taking 3 or 4 from this team.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a hot ticket come Wednesday.
They
Thursday.
better, because it's the AAA Nationals. They better take at least 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And if you really want to make a damn statement, well, you got to sweep.
They have to. They got to at least get 3, or I'm out.
By the way, Adam Schefter is saying that Devontae Smith is expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks with a sprained MCL. So at least we got a little more clarity with the timetable. It's still very early, but the MRI he actually got on Sunday. It was yesterday. So they already knew this coming into today. So Devontae Smith expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks with the sprained MCL. So
that's a week or 2 of preseason games. So
fine, whatever. Guys don't play preseason anymore. I go, all right, good. It's nothing more serious, right? That's what we got going for ourselves right now. 610-632-0975. Sean in Orlando, thanks for holding, man. You're on The Fanatic.
What's going on, Tunis?
Hey, Sean.
So I believe in the Phillies. I believe that once Eflin comes back, you have a solid 4 going down the stretch towards the end of the season with Wheeler, Nola, Gibson, and Eflin. And that 36-year-old closer we got, he has 16 saves. That's more than anyone on this team pretty much combined.
Yep.
And after this week, it's going to be tough with the Dodgers coming into town next week.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a major series. But, Sean, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not even looking to that yet. Because if they go into that series down 5.5 games to the Mets, or still status quo 3.5 after playing them this weekend, because I expect them, Sean, to win a series against the Nationals. So if they're still 3.5 against the Mets, that's either means that the Mets also won their series or swept the Marlins, or the Mets beat the Phillies over the weekend. So that's why I can't even look ahead to that Dodgers series just yet.
This week's do or die for the Phillies.
Yeah, I would think so, and somebody tweeted me that earlier because of what's up and coming with the Dodgers, but also Jacob deGrom will appear at some point. He will return at some point for the Mets, so that's scary. I mean, you got to strike right now, man.
Yep, you're right. And I don't know if you guys know, but do you follow Bleacher Report?
Kind of.
So I checked the Phillies page this morning on Bleacher Report, and they did this early prediction for the free agency, and it showed them signing Carlos Correa in the offseason.
Okay. Hey, go for it. I appreciate the call, Sean. I mean, Bleacher Report does a nice job, but I don't think they're getting any tips there or like source. I think they're just like, hey, this makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't go to your news to Bleacher Report for your breaking news.
I wouldn't. I think they have a lot of good highlights stuff.
There's some cool stories on there.
Yeah.
Like some cool. They get like an interview every once in a while.
I
I'm
just
not
wouldn't-
going there for breaking news.
Like, guess what I'll say? AndrewSalchunas.com. Phillies could go after Chris Bryant during the offseason.
It's a good point by AndrewSalchunas.com.
You know what I mean? Like, no offense to Bleacher Report, and no offense to Sean getting excited for it. Yeah, I could say all that stuff too. Hey, according to AndrewSalchunas.com, Andrew McCutchen's contract's coming off the books. They need another center fielder. You know, they need an outfielder. They need another arm. According to AndrewSalchunas.com, Dave Dombrowski knows that they need to bring in at least 2 bullpen arms that aren't Brandon Kinsler, and David Hale. So, I hope so. I hope you're right. I would love Correa. Hell of a ball player. I would love him here. That'd be fantastic. Oh, boy. Let's go to Jay in the Northeast. What's up, Jay?
How you doing, Jordan?
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, I just called you at the end of your Phillies conversation, and I'm thinking the same thing this week. Like, this has to be this, like you just said, the minor league nationals team. Like, if they can't get some ground going this week, man, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're just a 500 team, you know. I mean, they are what they are.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they just lost a series to the Pirates, which is why I can't come in here today excited for this week to come, because it is a monster week. Like, if we're being real, this is a monster week for the Phillies if they actually think that they are playoff contenders. If you go 2-5, 3-4, 4-3 this week in 7 games, where 4 of them are against the Nationals, I will say season's over. I'm parking the train for good. I'm not even getting the estimate. I might just take it. I might just take it to some sort of shop and sell it for parts, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a big week, man. I also heard you talking about them Phillies tickets too, so that caught my interest as well. But this, like you said, business week. This is the last chance. I feel like the past 2-3 weeks they've had these big comebacks, and I feel like our team that would have been the spark. But not this team. They come out next day and they're just flat.
Jay, it's funny because I talked about that on Friday. It was the day of the trade deadline, and Anthony and I kind of got into it a little bit, whether or not they should be buyers or sellers. And I ended up bringing up the point of Brad Miller hitting that walk-off grand slam when they were down 7-0. They scored 7 runs with 2 outs in the last inning. And my problem with this team is any other team in Major League Baseball will win the next 2 or 3 games after that moment. The Phillies then dropped 2 straight to the worst team in baseball.
Unreal.
I mean, it's unbelievable. What do you got on the Sixers, Jay?
The Ben Simmons thing. I didn't catch the trade. I called the last one. I think it was Zach LaVine. It's just a shame that Lillard and Beal, it seems like they're both staying put. At least we don't know for sure.
Well, we don't know about Lillard. They're going to take care of the Olympic stuff first. I think ultimately he goes. There's just been some talk that maybe it's like a James Harden situation where they start the season with him on the team, but James Harden basically wore a fat suit to get himself traded, so we'll see what Damian Lillard does.
That would hurt us, though. We got to have to start with Ben on this team, which is not a good idea, so I don't know how that would work with waiting for Dame that long when the season starts. So I guess the point was to see what trade you would take now as opposed to waiting for Beal or Dame.
Yeah,
and
so
everything.
would you hold on to him if those 2 guys are not on the table?
You really can't. I would love to, but you can't at this point. It's a broken mindset. It's a broken culture.
Yep.
I would love to because of his talent, but I mean, when the playoffs come, what's he going to do? It's going to come back and it's going to creep into his mind.
Right, and he wants to go. I mean, it's literally 2 days after they lost. He was out in Wimbledon and had his agent talking to Daryl Morey and Doc Rivers about, all right, what are we going to do next? Jay, I'll put you in hold. You're in the running for the Phillies tickets for this Sunday's game against the Mets, 1:05 first pitch. Hopefully it's a hot ticket by the end of the week. But yeah, I mean, he wants to be gone. It took 2 days. The season was over.
Right, and he and his agent have said as much.
I don't think it was even 48 hours after he passed up the dunk, and he wanted out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to clarify real quick, the Embiid thing about saying that was the turning point for the game. Like, Embiid also went on and said that it was partially his fault, and there's other guys on the team. Like, I don't think it's the locker room saying they don't want to play with Ben anymore. Like, if he does come back, I don't think that'll be an issue. But the issue is the fan base and the team itself. Like, the front office, how can you put this guy back on your team after what he's shown you in 5 years? As a head coach, how can you want this guy back if you're Doc Rivers? Like, the progression just hasn't been there, and it seems like his course has just been played out in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, it's done here, man. That's all there is to it. It's done here. And he wants to go off and live some lavish lifestyle somewhere else where there's less pressure, I guess. 610-632-0975. So, Jay didn't hear all the terms because he tuned in when I was going through it. So coming up on the other side, if you missed it, I will give you the trade proposals that ESPN.com, the ESPN Plus, because I'm big time now, man. I got the insider.
They're gonna get mad. You're giving out all the insider.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm gonna put a hit out on
I'm gonna start getting texts from coworkers. Yeah, what's your insider?
Let me get that password.
Because I may have done that for the last couple of years, like the Athletic and all that kind of stuff. But I will. I will make sure to go through the 5 trades again coming up on the other side. Also, I'll repeat what I was saying at the beginning of the show regarding the complaining just to complain, because I heard it all over the weekend on the radio. I read it on Twitter. I read articles, and I just don't understand it. And I'll explain the 2 examples that I got from over the weekend, but I'm sure there's a lot more. Maybe you guys can give me some at 610-632-0975. He's Connor Thomas. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. A pair of Phillies tickets up for grabs today for Sunday's 1 o'clock game against the Mets. Hopefully it's a hot ticket. I'm Andrew Salchunas right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Big Sunday for JT. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by the New Jersey Transit Flex Pass. Commuting? Take advantage of savings and flexibility with NJ Transit's Flex Pass that includes 20 one-way tickets at a 20% discount. Get details at njtransit.com/FlexPass. Yes, JT Realmuto had a huge day for the Phillies yesterday. 5 hits and 4 RBIs and a big win over the Pirates. The Phillies routed them 15-4 in Pittsburgh. It saved the Phils from being swept after the Pirates won the first 2 games of that series. They still sit 3.5 games back of the Mets, but they're going into a big week that starts off with 4 games in Washington against the Nationals. First pitch of Game 1 is tonight at 7 p.m. Ranger Suarez will take the mound for the Phils. NBA free agency begins tonight at 6 p.m. Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott are all unrestricted free agents for the Sixers. We'll let you know the future of those 4 and any potential additions for the Sixers as that news comes down. Unfortunately, some bad news out of Eagles training camp this morning. Eagles first-round pick Devontae Smith suffered a knee injury this weekend. It's a knee sprain, and he's officially listed as week-to-week. Tim McManus will have an update on that and an update on training camp in general during his training camp report at 4:30 on the Mike Missinelli Show. Keep it locked right here for all your latest news and information. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
All guests of 97.5 The Fanatic enjoy fun and games provided by Royal Billiard and Recreation, the ultimate game room store since 1982.
Yo, Philadelphia, Anthony Gargano talking with my childhood friend, Bob Marino, President, Spring Garden Lending's Mid-Atlantic region. Bob, we're playing ball again. Stadium's open. Fans are back. What about you, Bob?
Yo, Bo, I've been on the road nonstop.
Why's that?
Remember, Ant, Philly's our home base, but we have offices and lending teams in D.C., Baltimore, and Lancaster, Harrisburg.
Wow, sounds like you're positioning Spring Garden Lending to be the go-to private lender in the region.
That's the goal. Our edge is we have feet on the ground in all of our markets.
You mean you have home teams?
Right you are. Our lenders live and work in their home base. They know their markets. They've invested in their communities.
Smart, Bob!
And we're a tightly knit group referring business back and forth from one market to the other.
That sounds seamless. A winning strategy. Real estate developers, listen up. Not only is Spring Garden Lending one of the region's fastest growing companies, not only are they faster than a bank and less expensive than hard money lenders, they are everywhere. Look out for them.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here, and for over 10,000 caregivers of adults with autism living in the Delaware Valley, we worry about who will take care of our adult child when we can't any longer. That's why I'm so proud to introduce Neurodiverse Living, or NDL. NDL provides safe and secure, neuro-inclusive co-housing communities with built-in amenities and natural support systems, giving parents like me peace of mind that they will never have to worry about their children being alone or isolated. That's why I want you to join me in the show as we support NDL's inaugural golf tournament on Monday, August 23rd, to help raise funds for this extremely important cause. It's nearby at the North Hills Country Club in Glenside. What better way to get outside, get some exercise while helping adults with autism or other intellectual disabilities obtain safe and secure housing? Go to ndlgolf.org to register. Please consider joining us for this important cause. That's ndlgolf.org. And never underestimate the difference you can make in the life of an adult with autism.
The first bet on Caesars Sportsbook app is up to $5,000 risk-free, people. When I told my team about the idea, they said I was being too wonderful and magnificent. But I don't care how awesome this makes me. I'm doing this for the people. So just download the app, and that first bet is up to $5,000 risk-free. Caesar made an app for the people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in New Jersey only and for new players. Paid in bet credits. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
New hot and iced Sunrise Batch Coffee from Dunkin'. A bright and balanced, full-bodied blend brewed so you can get summering from sunrise to sunset. And even after that, because that's when you can show off those string lights you hung in the backyard. Or rehung. Now exclusively for DD Perks members, enjoy a $2 medium Sunrise Batch hot or iced coffee. Join on the app today. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply.
They say if you repeat something 3 times, you'll remember it. So repeat this with me. Easy Pass. Easy Pass. Easy Pass. Nice. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why am I saying this? It's because you can't forget that Easy Pass can save drivers nearly 60% on PA Turnpike tolls. And take it from me, a PA Road Pro, that's a lot of savings. 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 Find your local retailer at paturnpike.com.
Sponsored by the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Are we ready for the 5:30 pickup?
Cam's Courier Service's newest hire delivered his resignation.
Hey, Ray, who's handling
She now needs next day shipping on a new driver.
all these boxes here? Are they ingoing or are they outgoing?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
For the ones who know that a little late is always too late. And that the clock doesn't stop just because you're missing a part. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. And our Keep Stock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock to learn more. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
That should do it with your new Anderson 400 series windows. So stylish and easy to install. I have these exact ones in my own home.
Honestly, John, we couldn't be happier.
They're perfect.
They last a long time. Don't think you'll be needing me again. So this is probably goodbye. Alex, Julie, we'll see ya.
I hate goodbyes.
Alex, John was our contractor.
Anderson 400 series are the windows contractors trust most. Learn more at andersonwindows.com. 2020 Anderson brand survey of U.S. contractors. Visit andersonwindows.com for warranty details.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
11:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. He'll be back on Wednesday, 11 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Connor, I saw something today, and I'm going to give you the Ben Simmons trades coming up in a few minutes. I'll explain what I meant earlier about the complaining just to complain, and we'll also get to the phones. There's a couple of open lines. You can grab them at 610-632-0975. Just calling in today will put you in the running for a pair of Phillies tickets for this Sunday's game. The reason why I'm making today the easiest one, like not needing to win a trivia question or anything, is because it's not the hottest ticket in town.
That's true.
Now, come Friday, if they have taken all 4 against the Nationals, when would game one would be?
Would be
Friday against the Mets. So if they sweep the Nationals, come Friday, people might be wanting that ticket a little bit more. But right now, I'm sure a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, all right, I'll call in to see if I can get a ticket.
Right, like I don't have any plans for this weekend.
Right, that's why I'm making today the easiest one. We're going to do the simple. You call in, we'll jot down your name, your location, we'll put it in the hat, or your hat because you're the producer of the show today. So you go with the trusty hat, pull out the name, that person scores a pair of tickets. If you didn't win today, you still have another 4 chances to have a nice day or to see a big game. But I saw something today, Connor, that you and every person in the tri-state area, the Delaware Valley, will either laugh at, freak out about, or roll their eyes about. So, I'm not a big analytics guy.
True.
I am kind of afraid that aliens and robots will overtake the world at some point. I mean, you see those dancing robots?
Yeah, that's absolutely going to happen. The Boston Dynamics ones that can do like front flips and stuff?
I don't know if that's true anymore. I have lost a little bit of fear of the robot population today.
Oh, okay.
Because I read a story on WHYY.org. AI robots did a survey. I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they were in the cars. I don't know if they were walking around the streets. You may have been looking at a robot over the weekend, for all we know. But they went through 20 cities and checked out 75 miles of the streets in the 20 cities. And Philadelphia is one of them. And they termed, out of the 20 cities, that the Philadelphia roads are the best in the nation amongst major cities. Connor, you are a man who lives in the city. It is terrible. All over the place. There's potholes everywhere. How can they claim, these dumb robots, that Philadelphia has the best roads? I love this city. I'll back up this city any day. One of these national pundits, these Wilbons of the world, say something, I'll freak out. But if Wilbon takes a shot at the roads, I'm okay with it. Are you serious? Your thoughts, Connor?
I live in South Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
And I have my easiest way to work is just make a left on the next street down and then go on and get 95 and come across and come over to Bala Cynwyd where our studios are.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go not 1 block down, but 2 additional blocks down because the 2 easiest ways to work both have gigantic potholes that I can't drive my car over without just taking out the suspension.
I should show you a photo. I'm going to text it to you right now. My buddy Jimmy sent me a photo of his tire. He had to drive on Allegheny for... he had to meet a client somewhere. Dude, it's not even a flat tire. It was a gash. You would think Wolverine came by and sliced his tire.
Yeah.
And yet these dumb robots who I was afraid of, they say that Philadelphia has the best roads out of 20 major cities. Now, I wish I could find... yeah, he's a robot. I wish I could find the list of the cities. I'm going to try to find this out. But, I mean, that can't happen.
No, that's ridiculous. Like, there was a street, I think it was 5th Street, whatever. It was like 5th Street, and there used to be this big square. It was like 2 square feet where there was just a huge hole in the ground where they had done some type of road work, and they never filled it back in. And it was there for like 4 months. And I couldn't take that street. I'd had to go down an extra 2 blocks to avoid that. Like, there are just streets that are completely unusable. They say they're the best roads.
Oh, wow. I have the description as to why. So Philadelphia's Philly number 1. I'll give you the top 20. Philly number 1. Jacksonville 2. New York City 3. Tied with Denver. Because they have analytics. They have they have data. Nashville 5th, San Fran 6th, Chicago 7th, Charlotte 8th, San Antonio 9th, DC 10th. So there's your top 10. Boston tied with DC. I don't know how we can have ties. Just pick it. Pick one. Minneapolis, Houston, Seattle, Columbus tied with Seattle for 14th, St. Paul, Los Angeles, Oklahoma City, and then Phoenix and Detroit tied at 19. Here's their description with Philadelphia. As the largest city in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia's Metropolitan Statistical Area, MSA, is home to over 6 million people. As a major city on the heavily traveled I-95 corridor, which they don't mention is always under construction, but I'll put that one in myself. Philadelphia's transportation infrastructure is critical to the movement of people and goods in the Mid-Atlantic region. The analysis of 71 road miles in Philadelphia scored the highest of all cities in our analysis with an overall score of 1.74.
Oh, of course.
That doesn't sound good. Indicating the well-maintained street surfaces. This score may be attributed to a high average revenue per capita value of $1,145. No.
Did they get lost and were they out on the main line somewhere or something? Because
I don't know what roads they traveled, but they said 70 miles, so I'm sure all over the place. And you mean to tell me one of these robot tires didn't pop? Look at the photo I sent you.
That's just preposterous.
It's not even it's not even a flat tire my buddy got. It's a gash.
Oh my God, dude.
Like the whole tire.
You couldn't do that with like a machete.
No.
That's absurd.
And I asked him what happened. He's like, you know how the steel plates that for some reason they think is okay?
Just sitting in the middle of the road,
and
raised 6 inches above.
Half the time, the nails that go into the steel plates are not all the way down because they're trying to drill it into the concrete. Like I'm not expecting it to be fully down. But Philadelphia ranked number 1. Their roads. And I see Coach Camille. Coach Camille has a flat tire or an oil leak every other day.
Right. You do. If you live in Philadelphia or you drive through Philadelphia or if you've been somewhere within like 100 square miles of Philadelphia in the past 5 years, you have hit a pothole. It doesn't make sense.
Number 1, dude.
The best.
Number 1. Out of major cities.
Of all the things to lead.
Unbelievable.
The most untrue.
Like the whole throwing snowballs at Santa Claus, that's old and tired. But you want to rip the roadways, go for it. But apparently we're doing well. That's a joke. Let's go to Brandon in Allentown before I give you some more Ben Simmons trades. Brandon, you're on the Fanatic.
Yo, what's going on, Tunis?
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah, I just want to talk about my toxic relationship with Ben Simmons.
Is it still a relationship?
So that's the messed up part. I don't know about you, but you ever have a girl like a partner where you know that it's not going to work out in the long run? You focus on the good things, but then you don't know when to leave.
Yeah, oh yeah, been there.
So now I've been a Ben defender. You know, I've been defending the guy for years now, and just like you, I just can't do it anymore. You know, I'm like, it's just time to move on.
Do it, man. Do it. I know it's tough, but you just got to move on, man.
Yeah, like, you know, if Dame and Beal aren't available, I'm taking the next best offer. It's just time to move on, you know. No, like, free agency's, you know, coming tonight, and I'm just worried that no one's going to want to sign here. You know, we don't have any money to sign anybody because it's all tied up with Ben.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be fascinating. Tonight at 6 o'clock, teams can start talking to players and all this kind of stuff. You're not allowed to sign players until Friday, but tonight at 6 o'clock is when legal tampering begins, whatever the hell that is. Is there such thing as illegal tampering at this point? Because I know LeBron does it 365 days a year, so is there such thing as illegal tampering anymore?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just free reign if your name is LeBron James. So.
Yeah. Exactly, Brand. I'm going to put you on hold, man, for a chance to win the Phillies tickets. Alyssa on the YouTube chat, 95 is permanently under construction, 365 days a year, but nothing gets better. She's right. Dude, I was driving home, and I respect everyone that's out there working. It's not their fault that it's like we're doing these major things, and we do them all at one time. 95's not done yet, and yet we have one lane open coming back from the Waltman Bridge. Yo, hey, Mayor. Come on, man. Like,
gotta work on that.
Help me out here. Because I can't go one way because I know there's traffic. And then I go the other way, it's even more traffic. Yo, help us out here, man.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
While we're on the topic, like I take the Columbus exit off of 95 every day to go home. And in the exit lane, we got one of those big metal plates you're talking about. So you have to go like halfway into the left lane of the highway to take the exit lane.
Those things are dangerous, man.
Like,
I
what
swear,
are we doing here?
I don't know what we're trying to do here. Like, it's either that or every pothole in Manayunk, they just fill with pebbles. And what happens when it rains?
Well,
all the pebbles are gone.
Manayunk. Don't get me started on Manayunk.
Like, what are we doing
You're
here?
living on a cliffside.
Yeah, I
don't
know
how
man.
people do that.
And you would think they'd look after us a little bit, but no. But yeah, I mean, so one day I'm leaving a Sixers game. It was I was living in the Northeast, so we were going up 95. All right, that's only really the route to go, unless you want to go all the way around to the boulevard. And 95 is bad enough as it is. And there was four lanes. Connor, they had 3 lanes closed to paint the overpass.
Well, yeah, you got to paint the overpass.
And I go, is this necessary? Number one, who gives a damn? I'm not driving through cities going, That's a nice overpass. You know what? I'm a big fan of Boston because you know why, Connor? Those overpasses are pristine.
You're not an overpassman?
No, I'm not. So, first off, why are you doing it? We'll just start there. Number two, why are you doing it at 9:30 at night on a day of Sixers? Like, you should look at the sports schedule. Now, they close it to one lane. And there's 20,000 people going up 95 plus everybody else that commutes. Like, what are we doing here? And I respect everyone that's out there. I felt bad for the guys working because they're painting overpasses.
Right, it's not their decision. They didn't wake up and say, I'm going to go paint the overpass. Someone told them. It came down from the top. Here's what we do. If Dame's not available and Bradley Beal's not available and Levine's not available, Ben Simmons, couple thousand bags of quick mix cement, and we're good to go. We'll fill in the potholes. I'll make that trade.
God. Yeah, but apparently to this AI thing, we're number one. Not Allen Iverson. AI, artificial intelligence. Philadelphia is the number one roads out of major cities. Like, at 2021 champs, Sheer Sports on Twitter. Those robots definitely didn't travel down north or northeast Philly. You're right. They probably did not. Because you go up those roads, there's just potholes everywhere. Dude, I play my Sunday league, Huntington Park, right? And I go to Manayunk. The exit, the ramp onto US 1, Route 1, has been closed for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's just preposterous.
2.5 years now. My God.
They got to paint the overpasses, dude.
All right, here are the Ben Simmons trades in case you're just tuning in. ESPN.com had 5 different writers propose trades. And I saw somebody on the YouTube chat say, tell them to quit their day job. The Kings one's not terrible, but whatever. Simmons to Sacramento. The Sixers get Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, Marvin Bagley III. All right. I'm a Dame or Beal or bust guy if those guys are available. If they're not, I'm making the trade because Ben Simmons to me is not coming back. But the Kings, Hield, Halliburton, Bagley III. The first trade with Portland they mentioned, Simmons to Portland, as well as Tyrese Maxey, 2 first-round picks. I'll do it in a second for Damian Lillard. But I know there's a lot of people that don't want to get rid of Tyrese Maxey. I'm sorry. I was ready to do it for James Harden. You think I'm not ready to do it for Damian Lillard? I love Tyrese Maxey. Go on. The other Portland trade I'm out on. Simmons to Portland, no Damian Lillard in return. CJ McCollum, Nasir Little, and a protected first-round pick. No. I'm out. No way. The Bulls trade, intrigued. I have my concerns with Levine and Tobias Harris playing together, but Chicago gets Ben Simmons. Sixers get Zach LaVine and Thomas Satoransky. And then the Timberwolves trade, Sixers trade Simmons and George Hill to get D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and 2 first-round picks, one in 2022, the other in 2024, but there's 85 different protections on it that I'm not going to even read because we'll forget them tomorrow. We'll forget them by 11:50. So I'm not even going to go through it. But I'm kind of out on that trade. And then there's the question, if Beal and Lillard are not on the table, do you hold on to them? My man Brandon Allentown, who just called in, he said he's in a toxic relationship, but he's at the point now where, regardless, next best offer, he's getting rid of Ben. And that's where I'm at. 610-632-0975. Let's go back to the phones. Rick in Delco. Rick, you're on The Fanatic.
How we doing?
What's up, Rick?
Nothing much, just calling about these Phillies.
Yeah, what do you got, man?
I don't know. I mean, there's all this talk about like why everyone's all mad or pro our move to go out and buy some other players, but or trade for some other players. But in the beginning of the year, everyone knew that this team was going to be about a 500 team.
I think, I'll be honest, Rick, just by doing the show, coming into it, I think a lot of people, my number was 85 wins with a chance to get to 86. I heard a lot of 90 wins. I heard a lot of 88 wins. I think, Rick, for the first time in 10 years, people had legitimate expectations for this team.
I mean, I had higher expectations, but I didn't, with all the signings and whatnot, new manager, I didn't see this team going, that much over 500. I thought I called the consensus on that on a few radio stations as well.
Okay.
But
But what? So what? Are you upset about the trade or not upset about the trade?
I'm not upset about the trade. So I mean, me thinking that they were going to be a 500 level team, I knew that this decision would have to, be one if you're going to be a seller or a buyer, and I'm cool with the buying. If like you said with the Mets, 3.5 games ahead and big series coming up with them. I don't see why buying right now is a bad option. I mean, our players can be streaky at times, but and
it's not like you bought as in you sold top prospects. You sold Spencer Howard, who pitches 3 innings. You sold a guy in Kevin Gowdy who might not ever play, and then you sold another guy who knows what the percentage chance that guy gets to the big league. So it's not like you made a trade.
A little prospect back in return.
Yeah, and you got who has an awesome windup. So exactly. I look at this trade and I go, it wasn't a bad trade. Is it enough to get them over the hump? I don't know. At least it puts you in a position where you have another guy that can throw 6 innings because you didn't have that before.
Yeah, you got a point. And I don't know what they're talking about real quick with these Philadelphia roads. I'm from Delaware County, but I had to get the full tire and rim protection on my truck just because the potholes.
Yeah, dude,
here.
I don't know. These robots, I was afraid of them. I think they're dumb now. I appreciate the call, Rick. I'll put you on hold for the running for the Phillies tickets. I think these robots are dumb, man.
Now we got to be careful. Because the robots could be pulling a fast one on us.
Are they testing me?
They could be trying to do the whole, we're going to name Philadelphia as the best roads to try and kind of play dumb a little bit. They might be plotting on us.
No, I think they're dumb.
I don't know. I'm still a little bit wary of the robots.
Here's the one thing I want to mention about the NL East. Because I get tweets a lot. And it's actually something I want to get into in the 12 o'clock hour. And I actually texted you this morning, and you gave me a response. And I guess it's a good one. Because I know there's people that feel this way. But, I get these tweets from people daily, every time they lose, about, told you the Phillies suck, or why'd you do this, blah, blah, blah. And it almost seems like there's people that are Philadelphians, fans of the team, maybe not fans of the organization, but fans of the team that are almost like dancing on the grave of the Phillies, which, I'll be honest, bothers me a little bit because I go, why? Why are you dancing on the... you can be angry. I'm angry. I was pissed off this weekend. But I wasn't about to start doing a jig on top of on the grave. You know what I mean? And you said something to me in response, and you said it's because people hate this team. And the reason why I'm so confused is because everyone is obviously watching the Phillies fall apart, right? They're back under a game under 500, lost 2 of 3 to the Pirates. But I can just take a step back and go, still 3.5 back of the Mets, because the Mets are going 5-5 in all of their 10 games, as are the Phillies. For the people that tell me, I can't believe you think the Phillies are as good as the Mets. If the Mets were a good baseball team, they should be up way more than 3.5 games at this point because the Phillies have been just running in place for, I don't know, the month of July into August. I know they had the nice stretch, but you would think going into the All-Star break, they would then carry that post-All-Star break, and they didn't, right? But for whether it's a Mets fan or a Phillies fan that goes, oh, look at the Mets, they're still ahead of the Phillies. Yeah, by just 3.5 games. I'm not saying that means the Phillies are not better. They're obviously worse than the Mets, record-wise. But they are still in striking distance, which is what the caller was just sort of talking about. It's not like the Mets are running away with it. But yet, you would think, Connor, every time the Phillies lost, the Mets gained two games in the standings. And they haven't. Why are we doing that?
I got a really simple answer for you. It's the way the team loses. They don't lose because they're not good enough. They lose because they play really stupid baseball sometimes. And I think that's worn on the fan base to a point where people just are done with this team. It's the base running errors. We saw a bunch. They won by 11 runs yesterday. And one of the bigger takeaways for me was they ran the bases like a T-ball team. It's the way they can't field the ball to save their lives. They have 2 of the worst defenders in baseball at their corner infield spots, and their shortstop has become one of the worst defenders in baseball. It's like if you're a team that runs out there and you just flat out, you don't have the bats to hit, you don't have the arms to pitch, and There are points where they have issues with that, too, in the bullpen and the back end of the rotation. But the biggest team is they just don't do things that are fundamental to teams at the major league level. And I think at this point, or however many games we're in, like 70-some, 80-some games in.
105.
Yeah, you're right. Because they're 50, yeah. Not a big math guy. The 105 games they're in, it's worn on the fan base to the point where they can't like this team anymore.
You're right. And we'll dive deeper into that conversation regarding liking or not liking the team. But my thing is saying that, like, again, it goes back to how I opened the show. The train is in the shop right now. We're getting estimates, right? What kind of repairs we need. But you can't say the door is closed on the season when the Mets, who everyone tells me is the far better team than the Phillies, they're 4-6 in their last 10. They're still just 3.5 games up. They're still just 6 games over 500. Like, they stink.
But the response is
they just stink less right now.
Right. The response is, how the hell does the Phillies team catch them? Like, how do they string enough games together?
Well, that's why this week is huge. And that's why hype man Andrew's gone. It's business this week. And you need to win this series against the Nationals. And then the Mets series is huge, man. Which is why when we're giving away a pair of tickets to the Sunday game, Phillies-Mets, each day this week, starting today, you just by calling in today, you have a chance of winning a pair of tickets at 610-632-0975. Hopefully come the end of the week, it's a little bit of a different conversation, a little bit of a different tone. Now, I have a tweet from Evan Massey, who covers the NBA for Hoop Analysis Net, regarding a potential Sixers trade. I'll give you that coming up at 12 o'clock because it's a name that was mentioned over the weekend. I don't know. We'll find out. I have no idea what this team's going to do, but all of a sudden, there's smoke around another name, and it's not the name we've been talking about all offseason. 610-632-0975. He's Connor Thomas. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Pivotal week for the Phils. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Looking for a job? Contact Express Employment Professionals and be part of their national hiring event. Go to ExpressPros.com, find your nearest office, and call Express today. The Phillies have a huge week upcoming. They'll start tonight with a 4-game series against the Washington Nationals. First pitch of Game 1 is at 7 p.m., and Ranger Suarez will take the mound. Then they'll head home, but they'll play the New York Mets. The Mets visit South Philadelphia, 3.5 games up of the Phillies currently, and we'll see how that stands when they come in starting on Friday. But it's going to be a big week for the Phillies. They did come off a big win yesterday, saving one game in a series loss to the Pirates, but they won 15-4 behind JT Realmuto, who had 5 hits and 4 RBIs in the win. NBA free agency starts tonight at 6 p.m. Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott are all unrestricted free agents, so we'll let you know what their futures hold as well as any additions the Sixers may make. Unfortunate news out of Eagles training camp this morning. Eagles first-round pick Devontae Smith suffered a knee sprain. He's listed as week to week. Tim McManus will have your update on that, as well as other updates from training camp during his training camp report at 4:30 on the Mike Missinelli Show later today. Keep it locked right here for all your latest news and information. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic. Fanatic Fan Fest 2021 is on Saturday, September 18th at Xfinity Live. Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook and Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Go to 975thefanatic.com for more details.
Brought to you by Bates Motel Escape Rooms. 4 world-class escape rooms in Westchester. Visit BatesMotelEscapeRooms.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Gargano for Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Look, we're finally getting out and about again this summer. It's hot, right? It's summer, it's hot. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that when I come home, I need my house to feel very comfortable. And by that, I mean cool. When my old system bottomed out, I called my man Brian, the owner of Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Of course, look, I got a guy, right? And you can have him too. It's Brian. He's going to come out. He's going to give you the best estimate. Right? Good, better, and best. And then you pick whatever price works best for your budget, including 0% financing for 72 months on qualifying heating and cooling systems. Service First, a trained comfort specialist, Mitsubishi Diamond preferred dealer. So that means they know their stuff. You got a system that needs repair? Count on Service First for fast, friendly service in Bucks County, Montgomery County, all across the land of Philadelphia. Visit ServiceFirstHVAC.com. That's ServiceFirstHVAC.com. And tell Brian Cuz sent you. UFC 265 this weekend. It's Cuz in DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC, is offering 100-1 odds on a punch being landed during either co-main events. Yeah, just pick any co-main event fighter you think's going to win. DraftKings Sportsbook will give you 100-1 odds on a punch landing during the event. That's right. Bet $1 on any co-main event fighter. If a punch lands during either co-main event fight, you will cash $100 in free credits. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code FANATIC when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits when you bet on any co-main event fighter to win and a punch is landed in either fight. That's code FANATIC only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wawa and Chips Ahoy are teaming up to bring you handcrafted beverages that'll make your summer adventures epic. Like
going to the beach.
Going to the beach with a delicious and creamy Chips Ahoy milkshake. And
binging season 3 of that show.
Binging season 3 of that show with a tasty Chips Ahoy smoothie. Whatever you're doing this summer, make it epic. Chips Ahoy milkshakes, smoothies, and sundaes are here. Crafted to crave at Wawa. Wawa has the drinks you need to stay quenched, refreshed, and happy. Cool off with iced teas, lemonades, energy drinks, and more. Wawa has the refreshments you need this summer and the snacks to go with them. Stop in today for our $3 summer deal and get any 20-ounce Pepsi or Mountain Dew with any Lay's, Ruffles, or Doritos. Make Wawa your destination for the drinks and snacks you love. Gotta have a Wawa. Limited time offer. See store for details.
In business, days don't just come and go. Every day counts. Whatever your day brings, with Comcast Business, you'll have the solutions you need to make the most of it. Like the power of the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses, the freedom to control your network from anywhere, and advanced cybersecurity to help protect every device on it. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Call for details.
Hey, when people make a decision to be healthier, it's usually something people want to start right away. That's why same-day delivery with Squeeze.com is the perfect kickoff to a weight loss campaign. If you order by 1 p.m., you're going to get your juices by 9 p.m. the same day right at your door. Now, you're going to feel more energized, less bloated. You'll notice you may lose some inches, and you can sleep better. Squeeze.com is the best juice cleanse on the market, so give it a try today. You go to Squeeze.com, you click Mike Missing the drop-down at checkout.
When you're injured on the job, you need someone who will fight for you, stand up to the insurance companies, and knows the laws in Pennsylvania. Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers, wrote the book on workers' compensation in Pennsylvania. Visit PAWorkInjury.com now. When you're hurt at work, turn to the team you can trust. With offices in Center City, Bristol, Malvern, Allentown, Reading, Sunbury, and Harrisburg, we are ready to get you the justice you deserve. Call or click today. Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
You have a job to do. You need power to do it. And depending on the time of year, heating or cooling. At United Rentals Power and HVAC, we have a job to do too. That's to make your job easier with 24/7 equipment rental, including generators, air conditioners, heaters, transformers, and load banks, plus certified engineered solutions. Get the right tool right now at United Rentals Power and HVAC. Exit 17 off 295 in South Jersey. Call 856-423-7820 or visit UnitedRentals.com.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to protect your family's future? It's life insurance from Fabric. Fabric has modernized getting term life insurance. It's simple, quick, all online, and surprisingly affordable. Like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day affordable. And you could be approved on the spot. Try Fabric risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect your family's future today at meetfabric.com/sports. That's meetfabric.com/sports. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life. Not available in New York and Montana. Price is subject to underwriting and health questions.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a really big tree near your garage. Now, I'm a really big tree on your garage and car. And if you don't have the right insurance, the cost to fix this could leave you wishing money grew on trees. So bundle your home and auto with Allstate to save up to 25% and be better protected from mayhem. like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Auto prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Let's go. Game on. Pedal to the metal. Full throttle. Let's go big. Let's go live. All day, all night, all out. Let's go high stakes. Topped with a lobster tail. Cocktails? What time? Anytime. Let's go for the win. Let's go for 2 or 3 or hit me. Let's go for it all. Game, set, match. Points on points on points. Let's go, Philly. Let's go live. Live Casino Hotel Philadelphia Luxury Hotel. Gaming bars and restaurants in South Philly. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
12 o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. We'll be back on Wednesday. Connor Thomas sitting in my chair, and we got some news to start the noon hour. As we found out on Friday that Carson Wentz hurt his foot during practice on Thursday, which is why he did not practice on Friday. However, there were still some questions that remained because other veterans did not participate in practice for the Colts on Friday, which was so crazy that Nick Sirianni didn't have his veterans practice on Friday. But like when the Colts did it, nobody really talked about it. Kind of strange, huh?
Yeah, everyone cries for Frank Reich. Should have been the guy they kept, but
that goes back. That goes back to my initial conversation today of complaining just to complain. Oh my God, how could they be sitting veterans this early on in practice? Well, the Colts did it too, and I'm sure others did. But regardless, so Carson Wentz did not participate in practice Friday, and now he's going to undergo surgery on an injury to his foot. Frank Reich, according to Frank Reich, this is an injury dating back going back to college. And it was a broken bone in his foot that just kind of unattached again.
What?
Yeah. He didn't need surgery on the broken foot in college. Now he does. They have to remove a bone from his foot. Like they're just removing it. And he will be out 5 to 12 weeks, which I talked about the Eagles earlier, not really giving me a good timetable of week to week. 5 to 12 is not really much better. But Carson Wentz obviously going to miss the start of the season. And now you go, oh, why does it matter? Well, the first-round pick is still up for debate and probably not going to happen now. Because if it's the latter, if it's closer to 12 weeks, he will not be playing 70% of the snaps for the Indianapolis Colts, which means that second-round pick will not become a first-round pick. And for all the Carson Wentz haters out there, I'm sure you're angrier again today. There's really not much else to be said. Really, the news is the Eagles are going to be screwed out of a first-round pick, and that's really it. I have nothing to say.
Well,
he's not the quarterback here anymore.
There's a little more to it.
What's more?
And our own Jamie Lynch brought it up this morning on the John Kincaid Show. Does this lend you more towards accepting the pick of Jalen Hurts in the second round?
I'd be a hypocrite if I said yes. Because I thought it was dumb, the pick. I really did.
Now, here's the thing. I agree with you there. And I did too. And I was like, oh, well, you can't say this stuff's going to happen. But what you just said kind of perked my ears up a little bit. This is a foot injury stemming from college.
Yeah.
Like, has this guy had stuff that just kind of been hanging around that maybe the team knew about that we didn't?
Maybe.
I can't imagine that this wasn't an injury that was disclosed. If it has a potential to just, like, a bone's just going to dislodge in his foot at some point, like, it's going to put him out potentially 12 weeks. Every time this guy gets hurt, besides, obviously, the ACL, but, like, the back was something that was stemming from, like, just overuse. The ribs he had his rookie year in training camp was because he doesn't protect himself. There's a trend where this dude is just really, really becoming like heavily injury prone, not just normal injury prone, and it makes me wonder a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a good point brought up by the bro. It is because as Jamie said, the reason why you make that draft pick is because it doesn't cost as much as any other typical backup quarterback. and you need an insurance policy to Carson Wentz, which is why Nick Foles won the Super Bowl MVP, right? Which is why the Eagles won the Super Bowl, because you had a legitimate insurance policy to Carson Wentz. Now, they didn't bring in Nick Foles because of the injury history. He got hurt when Nick Foles was here, but it then continued. And Nick Foles got paid by Jacksonville and played like 6 seconds there. But you needed a backup. Now, I still thought that a guy like Jameis Winston, who literally got $1 million from the Saints, would have been a better option as the backup than Jalen Hurts, because remember, let's not do revisionist history here. We had high expectations for the Eagles last year. They were just awful. They went 4-11-1, but we predicted them everybody predicted them to win the division.
Yeah, there were people betting Carson Wentz to win the MVP.
Yes,
at not terrible odds.
No, I know a buddy of mine who put down a decent amount, and he knew about 3 or 4 weeks in that it was not going to happen. So we all knew the Eagles. We all expected the Eagles to be good last year, and not homers. I'm like, we thought, all right, this team is in a good spot. And Carson first healthy offseason. Remember, that was a big topic of conversation. The other 3 coaches in the division, all first-year coaches with their respective teams. Doug Peterson, the only veteran head coach in the NFC East.
You had won the division with absolute, like a Drek receiving core the year before.
So we were all like, all right.
Listen, the Jalen Hurts pick was still, there's multiple levels where I disagree with it on. But the further away we get from it, and it may just be things falling Howie Roseman's way to make him look smart. It probably is, with Howie Roseman's track record of drafting and decision-making and everything. But the further away we get from it, the more it's kind of like this dude was, Wentz that is, kind of doomed from the start.
But I'll go the further, and I like Jalen Hurts. This is not me taking a shot at Jalen Hurts. This is me taking a shot at Howie Roseman. The further we get away from it, the luckier Howie Roseman is. Yeah. I don't think Howie Roseman knew. Well, he knew, obviously, but I don't think he thought that the foot. So here's the tweet from Stephen Holder, who covers the Colts for The Athletic. Frank Reich says Carson Wentz had an old foot injury dating back to perhaps high school, according to doctors. Over time, the broken bone came loose and caused pain. The decision has been made to undergo surgery 5 to 12 weeks. So it's an injury going back to high school. Obviously, the Eagles knew about it, the medical team. But I don't think Howie Roseman goes, that foot, it's going to be a problem in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Let me draft Jalen Hurts.
Right. It's a weird, and we may never know. It's a weird level where you have to find a balance between lucky to make the decision and kind of looking into the magic ball and thinking, hey, this dude may have more down the line. I can't give Howie Roseman the credit for it entirely.
No.
All I'm saying is the further away we get from it, the more it looks like Carson Wentz from the start was just kind of doomed to have this type of career.
It could be.
The build of the guy, for whatever reason, doesn't agree with NFL football. It seems like the more we watch him play or not play,
yes,
the more it seems.
Now, I'll get back to the phones in a second, and I also have a potential trade with the Sixers that I'll give you. And no, it's not Ben Simmons. But here is something that we need to please not say. And it's funny because I heard a caller say this to you and Mike on Friday when I was driving to Live Casino for my buddy's bachelor party. And I just got a tweet from Pat Schultz on Twitter, who I love. But please, we can't do this. The Eagles, quote, screwed out of a first-round pick? No. Chris Ballard just made a better deal for himself. The Colts are not purposely sitting out Carson Wentz so that they don't lose a first-round pick. The Indianapolis Colts have a team that is built to win now. They have 5 first-round picks on their offensive line. They have weapons in the backfield, at wide receiver, at tight end, and oh, by the way, they have a pretty damn good defense. The Colts are not sitting Carson Wentz, giving him surgery on purpose to save a first-round pick when their team is legitimately built to win now. They're not doing that. So, Pat, I love you. Whoever the caller was to you on Friday, love that guy too. But they're not doing that. They are not sitting Carson Wentz on purpose. That conspiracy needs to be thrown way out the window. Do you agree, Connor?
Completely. And to help that with a little bit of fact here, just to look at the Colts roster and who's currently on their roster at quarterback. Like, Sam Ehlinger may be their opening day starter.
Yeah.
Like, Look at the other guys they have currently listed at quarterback on that roster and tell me, to give up a second-round pick instead of a first-round pick, they would sit Carson Wentz in favor of those guys.
They are a team that is actually built to win now. The only thing they were missing this season was a quarterback because Phillip Rivers retired. And they won, 11 games last year? 10 games, got into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Jacoby Brissett's in Miami. They don't have a guy on their roster that's played any lick of NFL football, really, or at least made meaningful time doing it.
Yeah,
no. Now, what they might do is if they stink and they start out like
they don't play him,
0-4, 0-5 without Wentz, and he's ready week 6, and they're like, well, if we don't play him, we can play him in week 7, and we don't have to give up the pick. They may do that.
But
they're not faking this injury or sitting him or coming up with a BS reason for that.
No. That's not happening.
Maybe give it one more no.
No.
There we go.
We'll get to the phones, but I just want to bring this up. So, Mitch Lawrence, who covers the NBA for SiriusXM, said that sources told him over the weekend that instead of trying to trade Ben Simmons, the Sixers are shopping Tobias Harris. And the Rockets, they actually called. And the Rockets turned down the deal. If I'm the Rockets, I'm turning it down too, regardless of the player, because they're trying to rebuild here. Tobias Harris, you're not going to rebuild. You could make the case for Ben Simmons, but they have all these first-round picks. They're not going to do that. So I kind of, like you and I talked about it this morning. I was like, I'm not even going to bring it up because I think that's that's not happening. But Evan Massey, who does Hoop Analysis Net, whatever, he now has a source, and it's Tobias Harris again. This time to the Kings for Buddy Hield. Now, I mentioned the one trade from ESPN.com that Ben Simmons could go to the Kings and Buddy Hield be in return. Over the weekend, Shams Charania, who, no offense to Evan Massey, I believe Shams Charania a little bit more, he said that the Lakers were going to try to get Buddy Hield. They were going to trade Kyle Kuzma and Carroll and a couple other guys to get Buddy Hield. And as bad as that trade is for the Kings, it's perfect for the Lakers because now Buddy Hield is a great shooter with that team. He's Kyle Kuzma, but far better when it comes to shooting. So I didn't really believe any of this. I still don't believe this, but now that's two different reporters, two different teams. Tobias Harris. Connor, I'll ask you because I have no answer. The only thing I imagine is cap reasons because Tobias Harris, I think, is a good player. I think he's a number 3 on a big 3. I don't think should be the number 2 scoring option, which he was this year because Ben Simmons doesn't play offense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me that Ben stays, or is this like a 3-team deal where Tobias and Ben go, and you get Dame?
Having 2 contracts the size of Ben's and Tobias moving in the same deal feels like too many moving parts. Like that feels too improbable to be able to find 2 teams to take on those contracts and have enough like picks and players go in each direction to make that work for 3 teams. I don't think that Tobias and Ben are involved. If those are deals, I think they're mutually exclusive. And when you look at like Tobias for Buddy Hield, which is the deal that Evan Massey brought up, like Tobias shot a better field goal percentage, better 3-point percentage, better free throw percentage, averaged more points per game. And you think, well, Tobias has been in the league a lot longer. Well, you're getting a younger player. Tobias is 29, Buddy Hield's 28.
Right.
The only main difference between those guys, where Hield is a better option, Hield's making about $22 million, Tobias is making about $36. So, yeah, if you're going to move him, it seems like the reasoning is you're moving on from that salary to try and give yourself more flexibility.
But so what happens with Ben? Is he still here?
I mean, potentially you could move both of them.
And
I don't know.
I get Buddy Hield, 3-point shooter. But, dude, I'm confused. Like, that's why literally the first one that came out this weekend, I was like, no.
They may think they're further away. They may think they're further away with this core. Like, we're out on Ben. We don't know what's going on in-house there. They may be saying, well, Ben doesn't work. Maybe Tobias doesn't work either. Let's start over and build around Joel.
Tobias had a great year.
I know.
He had a fantastic year.
Listen, that's not me talking. That's me reading the tea leaves of why they'd potentially be shopping him.
Dude, honestly, I'm not trying to overrate Tobias Harris by any means, but he had a fantastic year. He's had his 2 best seasons in his career under Doc Rivers. Doc's still the head coach here, if I'm not mistaken. Like, what? I don't know. Obviously, I don't think Daryl Morey's some moron. Like, he's obviously got something up his sleeve. Is it so that you can bring in 2 max contract players that are better for you? Like Dame and Beal? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that happens. Don't get me wrong. But I want, like, is that what he's thinking?
I mean, that's the only...
Because obviously Ben and Tobias will not be in the same trade because a team will not take on both of those contracts.
Right. Yeah, the only thing it could be is clearing up salary. There's not a player where you're going to get... Like, there's not another max player that you're going to trade straight up for Tobias Harris. Frankly, his deal is more expensive, even after a good year, than what he's worth. So a team's not going to just trade that straight up for another max player, and you're not going to get as good of a player with a lesser contract. So the only thing that makes sense is they're doing this to clear salary for some other move, and I don't get it.
6 o'clock today, legal tampering begins. Friday's when free agency opens. Something's going to happen. And now all of a sudden there's smoke surrounding Tobias Harris, which is fascinating to me. Because I did not expect that at all, to be honest with you.
Now, this is kind of out there, but let's just assume that the deal that they're planning on is a Ben for Dame, something going on there. And then they do want to move on from Tobias. There's a guy out in Los Angeles that would fit pretty well if you brought in a Dame and a Joel Embiid and would be a max contract guy who just became a free agent, or will rather, at 6 p.m. tonight. We heard his robotic laugh earlier in the show. Yeah, Caruso. Kawhi Leonard just opted out of the deal. Now, a lot of people think he wants to extend with the Clippers and get something new done, but he is a free agent, so it's... listen, I don't know, but Morey has been one of these guys that comes up with some crazy things.
Like Phil Brooks just tweets me. I've always felt they'd move Tobias before Ben. What made you think that? Like, honestly, Phil, I know you're listening, so please follow up. What honestly made you think that? Because it was 2 days into the offseason where Ben Simmons' agent approached Daryl Morey and Doc Rivers, or excuse me, Daryl Morey and Elton Brand, and was like, all right, so what are we doing here? And that wasn't a what are we doing here like, how are you going to make the team better for Ben? No, it was more so, hey, where are you trading Ben to? What are we doing here? Ben didn't, like, there's no way Ben Simmons is back here next year. So I have to ask, honestly, Phil, what do you mean you always thought Tobias would be gone before Ben?
Well, that's
maybe last year.
Yeah, that's like 2019, 2020, where Tobias was the friendly ghost, and he was really underperforming his contract, and Brett Brown didn't have an offense that utilized him the proper way. And it seemed like Tobias would be the option to move to find a third with Ben and Joel. We're past that now. It's very clear that, like, this team has not worked, and a huge part of it is Ben, and Tobias had a great year. Like, that's a tweet coming from the year 2019, 2020.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fascinating. We got open lines right now, and Dave, I'll get to you in a second. You can climb in at 610-632-0975. All of a sudden, we have the opening conversations of the Phillies and whether or not you have any belief yet that this team can make a push for the playoffs. I'm in business mode this week. I'm not going to get excited either way until the Mets series. If you win the first 2 games of the Mets, all right, maybe I'll go tune a strain first 2. But you also have to win 3 of 4 at least against the Nationals. Carson Wentz now hurt. The question that Jamie brought up that Connor just talked about in the air, are you giving Howie Roseman a little bit more credit for making that trade, for drafting Jalen Hurts and then trading Carson Wentz? Because maybe there was an understanding that he is injury prone. You make that draft pick of Jalen Hurts, hoping that he can turn into something. You trade Carson Wentz, and now all of a sudden, you have a guy that you're going to see if he can be the franchise quarterback, and if he's not, you have draft capital. Even if that second-round pick does not convey to a first-round pick, you still have 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Well, 2 second-round picks. You still have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, which is still capital to be able to trade. Like, it's still ammunition, right? And now the Sixers, which I'm fascinated by. There's a lot of smoke all of a sudden that Tobias Harris could be on the move, and I didn't even think about that for a second. I thought it was whoever you move Ben to bring in to couple with Tobias and Joel Embiid, different story. Now all of a sudden there's smoke around Tobias over this weekend, and as of about an hour ago from a guy named Evan Massey. We'll talk about all of that at 610-632-0975. We have a pair of Phillies tickets for this Sunday's game against the Mets. We will have a pair each day this week. Today's the easiest day because it's not a hot ticket right now. it might be, hopefully, by the end of the week. So today's the easiest day. All you have to do is call in. We'll put you in the running. We'll pull a name out of the hat at the end of the show. So it is your chance to win a pair of Phillies tickets for this Sunday's game, whether it means anything to you or it's just a nice free day to the ballpark. 610-632-0975, 12 o'clock hours, brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. He's Connor Thomas sitting in my chair today. I'm sitting in for Anthony until Wednesday right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies close out Pittsburgh trip with a win. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. You may not always need a new water heater, but when you do, choose Bradford White. The Phillies closed out their series with the Pirates with a Sunday afternoon win. They routed them, beating them 15-4. This came after dropping the first two games of that series in Pittsburgh. The Phillies will be back home tonight, or rather in Washington, to face the Washington Nationals. Ranger Suarez takes the ball versus Josiah Gray. First pitch of that game is at 7 p.m., and it'll be the first of 4 games against the Washington Nationals. They also have a big series with the Mets coming up this next weekend. NBA free agency begins tonight at 6 p.m. Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott are all unrestricted free agents from this past year's Sixers team. We'll keep you updated on the future of those 4 players and any additions the Sixers may make. Some big NFL injury news coming down today. First, with the Eagles, unfortunately, first-round pick Devontae Smith suffered a knee sprain at training camp. He's listed as week to week. And Carson Wentz, the Colts quarterback, has elected to have foot surgery. He will be out an estimated 5 to 12 weeks per Adam Schefter. That's important to the Eagles because they have a conditional first-round pick riding on his health and his snap percentage played. Tim McManus will have more on the Eagles and training camp in his training camp report at 4:30 p.m. on the Mike Missinelli Show later today. This update was also brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Whether it's next-day delivery or getting involved in their local communities, Napa goes above and beyond to serve you because their motor never quits. That's Napa know-how. Keep it locked right here for all your latest news and information. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for 97.5 The Fanatic. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. SimpleGreen.com.
Philadelphia Phillies today, $1.25 road favorite at Washington, plus 115. Rangers Suarez for the Phillies, 5-3, a 1.12 ERA. Josiah Gray for the Nationals, plus 115, 9 over at Nationals Park. Yankees a $2.30 home favorite against the Orioles at Yankee Stadium. The total is 10, shaded to the over. NFL preseason kicks off on Thursday with a Hall of Fame game. Steelers a 1.5 favorite over Dallas. Total 33. The Eagles will open up the preseason a week from Thursday as a 1-point home favorite against those very same Steelers. Total 33.5. DraftKings Sportsbook is America's top-rated sportsbook app. I'm Mike Sennett, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Well, the summer heat, that means it's time to crank up the AC again. And to keep your home cooling more efficient and to help you save on high energy bills, I suggest you go to Guida and finally replace those old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Guida Door and Window, because right now, Guida is offering their best discounts of the year. Their big 40% off summer sales event on expertly installed windows and doors. You'll get 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient, triple-pane windows. And also, you'll get 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today. No money down. Paid off interest-free for up to 18 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Guide it today. Take advantage of these limited-time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate. The number, 1-877-GO-GUIDA. Or check them out online at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
Yo, Philadelphia, Anthony Gargano talking with my childhood friend, Bob Marino, President Spring Garden Lending's Mid-Atlantic region. Bob, we're playing ball again. Stadium's open. Fans are back. What about you, Bob?
Yo, Bo, I've been on the road nonstop.
Why's that?
Remember, Ant, Philly's our home base, but we have offices and lending teams in D.C., Baltimore, and Lancaster-Harrisburg.
Wow, sounds like you're positioning Spring Garden Lending to be the go-to private lender in the region.
That's the goal. Our edge is we have feet on the ground in all of our markets.
You mean you have home teams?
Right you are. Our lenders live and work in their home base. They know their markets. They've invested in their communities.
Smart, Bob!
And we're a tightly knit group referring business back and forth from one market to the other.
That sounds seamless. A winning strategy. Real estate developers, listen up. Not only is Spring Garden Lending one of the region's fastest growing companies, not only are they faster than a bank and less expensive than hard money lenders, they are everywhere. Look out for them.
Team USA is ready for the Olympic Games, and so is Jacob.
Whoa! I've got my lucky shirt and Xfinity Flex.
Oh yeah, Jacob's family got Xfinity Internet with Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig and a Flex 4K streaming box free, plus Peacock Premium included. So Jacob is ready for anything.
Go Team USA!
With the best of the Olympics and top streaming apps, it's all of Jacob's favorites in one place. Entertainment starts at free with Flex, included with Xfinity Internet.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for only $39.99 a month for 12 months and get a Flex 4K streaming box free plus Peacock Premium included. And ask about Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig. Offer ends September 20th. So go online, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Pro customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig speed Wi-Fi requires gigabit internet and compatible xFi gateway. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Peacock subscription required.
Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Let's play some cards, PA. The World Series of Poker Real Money mobile app by Harris Philadelphia is live. Download the app and get started with $50 of free play on first deposit using promo code POKERPA. Make a deposit by August 15th and you'll get a free entry into a $50,000 tournament. Plus, we've added 3 seats to the main event in Las Vegas to the prize. Join the best at WSOP.com. Must be 21 or over to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wendy's only makes one kind of breakfast, your new favorite one. How do we do it? With fresh cracked eggs, oven-baked bacon, and flaky croissants. You know, the things your old breakfast wasn't doing. So toss that old news and its soggy eggs somewhere useful. And get to Wendy's, where the sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant, and honey butter chicken biscuit are just 2 for $4. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $4.
Limited time only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's.
Check out the John Kincaid Show Golf Tour. It's presented by MontcoGolf.com and the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Montgomery County, home to 50 private and public golf courses, some of the most historic and top-ranked courses in the country. Tune in, hear about the featured golf course of the week, and win great prizes like Golf Galaxy gift cards and rounds of golf for you and your friends. It's the John Kincaid Show Golf Tour, presented by MontcoGolf.com and the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. For details, visit 97.5thefanatic.com/golf tour.
Fanatic Fan Fest 2021 is on Saturday, September 18th at Xfinity Live. Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook and Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Go to 975thefanatic.com for more details.
Brought to you by Club Risque with 3 locations, Philadelphia, Bristol, and the Northeast. Online at clubrisque.com.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
12:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. Connor just told me something in my ear, and it's shame on you, man. We'll talk about it, but I go. We got some pressing sports matters to discuss. But come on, man, you got to scout better than that. Come on, dude, it's on you. We'll talk.
I didn't scout. I was scouted.
We'll talk about it in 10 minutes at 12:40. By the way, I also want to wish Ricky Pitalico a happy anniversary. Ricky Metallico joins the John Kincaid Show every Thursday morning, 9 o'clock hour, except for the occasional Friday.
Yeah, sometimes
I think it depends on the 1 o'clock games and all that kind of stuff, but typically every Friday, 9 to 10. Today was the, whatever the quick math would be, 33rd anniversary of the Bonds brawl.
Oh,
yes.
They're taking on Barry.
I saw it on ESPN front page today because obviously Ricky Bo's the bigger name than Barry Bonds, so that's why it's front page news on ESPN.com. So happy anniversary to Ricky Bo, and I can't wait to see him on Thursday so we can wish it to him in person.
I'll just tell you real quick. That's one of the more nuts things ever. Like, that was prime Barry Bonds, and just to stand in there, to have that guy running you down, has to be one of the most intimidating things in the world.
Nah, dude.
Like, this is not a big football player trying to run you over. This is you with no pads on or anything, unprotected, as a gigantic, maybe the strongest man playing baseball at the time.
I believe in Ricky.
I do believe in Ricky. Ricky's a tough guy. I'm just saying the huevos that it takes to stand out there as that guy charges you, man, respect.
Come on, man. I believe in Ricky in that fight. So we have a lot all of a sudden on the table. The Phillies conversation, whether or not you still believe in this team. I do have a poll up that I'll read you right now in the midday count. And it's kind of a simple, how many wins do they need poll. But I'm honestly curious as to where people are at. And the poll of the day is obviously brought to us by Marvin E. Cann's Heating and Air Conditioning. Marvin E. Cann's Heating and Air Conditioning is open and able to assist you with any emergency service and replacement needs, including installation of air scrubbers and other air quality products. Visit marvincans.com. How many games do the Phillies need to win this week for you to say the Phillies are still in it after they're 4 with the Nationals and 3 with the Mets? Connor, here are your 4 options. I would like to know where you're at. Option 1 is 6 or more. So that's 6-1 or 7-0. The reason why I didn't put 7-0 as an option is because that's not going to happen. At least I don't think. But 6 or more is option 1. Option 2 is 5. Option 3, as long as you sweep the Mets. Now, that doesn't mean you went 3-0 against the Mets, but 0-4 against the Nationals. You could win the series against the Nationals, but take 2 of 3 against the Mets, and people might be like, yeah, they couldn't sweep that team. This isn't a good spot. So that's why I put that as one of the options. And the final one is they're done. Like, they're already done. Where would you go, Connor, for you to say that they're still in it?
I need 5 games.
5?
I need 5. I'm firmly in the 5.
Now, do you have a preference? Because
Yes.
2-2 against the Nationals sounds awful, again, but a sweep of the Mets sounds nice. So do you have a preference as to how the 5 wins happen?
If I could have it my way, I'd have win both series. 3 against the Nationals, 2 against the Mets.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
I would also accept 4 against the Nationals, 1 against the Mets. I don't really care about the Mets-Phillies head-to-head.
No, I do.
I don't.
No, because then we're going to go right back to the conversation. See, they can't beat the team ahead of them.
But they don't have to beat the team ahead of them. Their schedule's so easy that they don't have to beat the team ahead of them.
Yeah.
The Mets
got
play
off on a good start
yesterday.
this past weekend. You dropped 2 or 3
I'm saying
to
in
Pirates.
theory.
No,
obviously.
You can't give me the rest of their series. Their schedule's easy.
I can. It's still easy. I get it. It makes them a worse team. It doesn't make the teams they're playing better. Like, they're still playing the easiest schedule in the MLB the rest of the way. They still are. Regardless of whether or not they take advantage of that is up to them, but they're still playing the easier schedule. So they don't have to beat the Mets. They have to catch the Mets in the standings, which is different.
Mets. I think they got to beat the Mets, man. I do. The Sixers topic that we had today was this ESPN Insider article regarding the 5 trade proposals where Ben Simmons could go somewhere and what the Sixers would get in return. But that conversation has since shifted because today, Evan Massey, some NBA guy, he said that the Sixers may shop Tobias Harris to Sacramento for Buddy Hield. This comes off of this past weekend when somebody reported that Tobias Harris was offered to the Rockets. I don't know what the package was in exchange, but the Rockets reportedly turned it down. I didn't buy the first report, but now there's 2 reports, 2 different teams. I have to go, wow, there's smoke surrounding Tobias Harris. And my question is, to all of you, at 610-632-0975, and I talked to Tyrone Johnson about this a little bit. He's back from vacation. He will be back with Mike at 2 o'clock, as well as Jen Scordo. basically, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think Daryl's just dumping salary. I think he's going to try to make it a big I think he's not going to give them get Alex Caruso for Tobias Harris. I think he's going to actually try to get legitimate players. But I'm just confused because I didn't think about moving Tobias once this offseason. Now all of a sudden there's smoke around it. And that confused me a little bit. Finally, the last sports-related topic is that Carson Wentz will be undergoing surgery and could miss 5 to 12 weeks. And as Jamie Lynch brought up, the drafting of Jalen Hurts. As we keep going further and further away from that infamous day where I absolutely hated the draft pick, and to this day I will say dumb draft pick. At the time, that day, that time, dumb draft pick.
I agree.
But as we get further and further away, does Howie Roseman get a little bit more credit for making that decision to draft him and then later trade Carson Wentz? Evan Chaney tweets in, I'm not giving Howie any more credit because now a first drops to a second. This was Howie taking a risk that backfired. So all those sports things up in the air. You can climb in at 610-632-0975. And also, according to artificial intelligence, Philadelphia, according to dumb robots. By the way, earlier today, Connor, the robot at the Olympics that's shooting the free throws and the half-court shots.
Oh, no.
Missed.
You can't miss if you're the robot.
The robot missed. And now there's robots that were doing a joyride, apparently, throughout the major cities in the United States, 20 to be exact. They ranked Philadelphia as the best roads out of major cities throughout the country. And it's hysterical to think that that's true. I don't know what part of the set. They traveled 70 miles in every city throughout the cities. There's no way that no way.
0% chance.
I can't believe it. But this is according to analytics of driving that Philadelphia is number one. I will allow Michael Wilbon, Skip Bayless, Colin Cowherd, all those national pundits to rip the Philadelphia roadways. And I won't say boo. I'll get angry about everything else, but I won't say boo about the roadways. Because they would be right to rip the roadways. These robots are dumb.
Robots are down bad today.
They are, man. Let's go to Dave in New Haven. Dave, you're on The Fanatic.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Dave? Thanks for all, man.
All right, well, so I've been touching all topics. As far as the roadways, that's a lie.
Exactly.
Carson Wentz, I'm sorry, Eagles fans, it's what happens when you sell your soul for a Super Bowl, and you sold your soul and didn't allow any room with us Flyers, Phillies, and Sixers fans to make a deal either, so that's what you get. The Sixers trade, I'm still traumatized from the Atlanta Hawks series. I haven't even processed any of that yet. And I'm hoping they don't trade Tobias, but I haven't even watched it because I'm still traumatized. True story. But let's get to the Phillies. I've been dragged back into being a Phillies fan by my 13-year-old daughter. She became a Mets fan because of my late stepmother, my stepmother, my mother-in-law who passed away 2 months ago.
Okay.
So what I have in my household is a 13-year-old being reckless. And it's actually disrespectful. So for me, with all love to my late mother-in-law, I need the Mets swept. That's what I need. I need 5-2, and 3 of them 5 victories is over the Mets.
So hold on a second.
I know.
Your daughter is jumping ship.
Oh, no, she ain't jumping ship. She's never been a fish. She wasn't into baseball. Then she spent a summer with her grandmother. Her grandmother was like old
so
school.
now that she's in the Mets,
Jamaican.
it's making you root harder for the Phillies.
Well, no, I've always been a Phillies fan. My daughter's grandmother lives in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
She's old school Jamaican. So she is a Mets fan hardcore.
Right.
So my daughter spent the summer with her and came, because I didn't introduce her to baseball. She's into swimming and jiu-jitsu. And in whatever, she came back like I like the Mets because she liked that guy they call Thor.
Right.
And then Thunder Girl, whatever his last name is. And then so now what has happened, especially since my mother-in-law has passed away, she's ramped up the trash. So every other day, she's like, Daddy, we still in first place. So I need this weekend.
Yeah, you do, Dave, because it's going to be tough. You know, God rest your mother-in-law's soul, but it's going to be tough for you if the Phillies lose that series and your 13-year-old daughter.
13, disrespectful. But I'm going to tell you why I believe that the Phillies actually can make a run. Because all of the issues to me, I'm probably not using the right term, or more mechanical. Like, there is a 5 or 6 game stretch where if you can tell me that we're making mental errors, there's got to be a stretch where at least half of the cats that are doing this will get it together.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Dave. And listen, I'm going to put you in the running for the tickets. If you go and you bring your daughter, that's going to be a fun time. Hopefully more fun for you, Dave, if the Phillies win. Here's the thing. There have been so many moments this season where I have thought that's the moment that's going to propel them to a winning streak. Which is why when Brad Miller hits the grand slam the other day, I was happy when it happened. But I didn't go, all right, now here's the stretch of 3 to 4 wins. And I'm glad I didn't, because they lost the next game to the Pirates. It's just happened so many times this year where somebody has stepped up and then they can't come through with another win. Not even one. They just fall apart right away.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
They're the Jeff Fisher of this year's MLB season. The constant 500. And I know you can't go 500 in the NFL anymore, but Jeff Fisher was the 8-8 every single year, regardless of who he had playing for him or where he was coaching. That's what the Phillies are. They're just, I don't know. They're forever confined to purgatory in the MLB for the 2021 season.
I'll go the latest moment, pre-Bamboo Brad. Aaron Nola pitches a gem against the Braves on that Sunday, and they win 2-1. The following game was the 3 runs in the 9th inning against the Nationals. So you win 2 straight. You got the big outing for the first time in what felt like a month and a half, I think it was a month and a half for Aaron Nola, followed by the 3-run home run by Andrew McCutchen. So I go, all right, this is the turn. This is where all things go well. You're facing a Nationals team that is selling their players, and the players know it, so the locker room's probably messed up a little bit right now. And you come back and you lose 2 straight to the Nationals. That is the epitome of this Phillies team. That just when you think they may make that turn, which is what Dave was just talking about, I can't go there anymore. I can't go, Dave, you're right. They are going to figure it out at some point. Because that should have been the point. And then they have the bamboo walk-off, and then they lose 2 straight to the Pirates. So I can't go, you're right, Dave. This is the time. Because I've said it 5 other times this season. And they've killed me. The only time they went on a run was leading into the All-Star break. The only time. And then for some reason, they decide to not go Wheeler game 1 out of the All-Star break, which they won that game with Matt Moore on the mound by the grace of God.
Hold on. He threw 3 whole pitches in the All-Star game. So he must have been a little bit tired.
Yeah. I just go, what are we doing here? We're sitting guys in big spots. Girardi's confusing the hell out of me. He gets real chesty when they win games and gets real defensive when they lose. Like, they had Ian Kennedy they trade for. And they lose to the Pirates. Ian Kennedy was ready to go. Instead, you don't pitch Ian Kennedy, but you pitch Jose Alvarado, who has started finding the zone recently, but you just traded for this guy. And instead, you go with Alvarado. He blows the game. They lose 3-2. And then because Kennedy hasn't pitched in a while, you have him pitch when you're up 15-2. Girardi, you have another series today. Oh,
see, you lay all this stuff out.
God.
And then you text me the question of why does it seem like people dance on this team's grave? It's because
people just want it to end?
You're a Phillies diehard.
Yes.
And did you hear the diatribe you just went on against this team and all the dumb stuff they've done just in the past 2 weeks?
But I'm not happy that they're losing.
I know you're not happy they're losing.
There are people that are happy.
You're a diehard guy. If you're a guy who's a fringe Phillies fan and sees your team do this to you over and over and over again, it breaks the fan base.
Yeah, but you said fringe Phillies fan. That means they are still a Phillies fan.
Yeah.
You should not be dancing on a grave.
Listen, man, when a team does this, and it seems like the manager is trying to make moves almost in spite of his team, and the base running decision these guys are making at the major league level feel like they're trying to lose ball games, and they can't field the baseball to save their lives some nights or afternoons or whatever the case may be, that breaks the average fan, and that brings you to resent this team.
You know what's going to be fascinating, speaking of poor defense? Does Didi find the bench at some point?
I mean, with Freddie coming in here.
Freddie Galvis, who's got a nice little bat. Rob Motti's favorite player.
Like, Didi just had his first multi-hit game in like 2 months, dude.
And Freddie Galvis a little bit more of a reliable fielder. A little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of bit.
So, yeah, as soon as he's healthy, there's Freddie at short.
So what do you do with Didi?
You put him on the bench, you have a good bat. I don't know what to tell you.
It's a lot of money. Oh, God. Let's go to Ramsey in South Philly. Ramsey, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, what's up, Jonas?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Connor?
Hey, what's up, man?
So, here's my thing. The Phils, the trades that they've made, I don't get the whole, like, why did we give up on Spencer Howard thing? Spencer Howard gave up on himself, my man. I am a big fella. I'm an out-of-shape big fella. But I can guarantee you I can book down 90 feet and not be winded from it. Just because of the fact that, hey, it's 90 feet. It's not that deep. It's like, bro, you're running from your couch to your car just to run out the house. That's it. You ran 90 feet in that time span, and you're winded?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then winded to the point where he loses 4 miles per hour on the fastball. But Ramsey, I'll say this to make things even worse for Spencer Howard, because that was the excuse he gave. He wasn't winded his last time out when he went 3 innings, pitched well, and then the 4th inning fell apart, and then later had a blister. I think he just needed that excuse that day.
He had a peanut butter sandwich between that first and second inning.
I guess, dude. Listen, I don't know. I can't even go with him with the winded excuse, because that just sounds terrible. But here's the thing: it's every outing. Does that mean he's winded every outing in the 4th inning?
It sounds like it. It sounds to me that he would have been best served and suited as a reliever pitcher rather than a starter. He kept being put in starting position, and now everyone's like, well, we gave up on him too soon. No, we didn't give up on him too soon. He didn't play his position properly. He was an out-of-shape pitcher. It's just not.
Yeah, I mean, he was a starter coming out. It's not like they tried transitioning him. He did this to himself. Whatever his workout regimen was, it clearly wasn't good enough, and this is why he's now going to Texas, to a ball club that really never wins. And, yeah, good luck to you, man, down there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty hot down there. So, yeah. Good luck.
He's going to get winded faster.
Yeah, exactly. What do you got on the Sixers, Ramsey?
On the Sixers, look, if Ben comes back next season, which I highly doubt he will, if Ben comes back next season, we're going to have a scenario. We're going to have a Harden scenario where he's going to try to sit most of the time. He's going to do all the things that he can to make himself not be approachable here and more tradable. We need to trade Ben. We need to keep we need to keep Harris. Like, Harris was so reliable this season, except for like a few games in the postseason. It's crazy how the thought of him being traded is a thought process at all. You're getting rid of somebody who averaged for you 20 plus points a game just to get for what? And you want to keep somebody who averaged 12 points?
Yeah, but unless both guys are on the move, Ramsey, and I appreciate the call, man. I'll put you on hold for a chance to win the Phillies tickets. Maybe they're both on the move. And then all of a sudden, as Tyrone pointed out to me last break, maybe they just want to build specifically around their best player, which is Joel Embiid. And maybe they just, you bring in Buddy Hield, who I know statistically Tobias Harris had a better three-point shooting percentage, but Buddy Hield is more of a three-point shooter. And then you get a guard. I don't know, man. Unless that's their course of action, let's just build specifically around Joel Embiid, because if you're Daryl Morey and you play whatever numbers you play, you look at whatever scouting reports you look at, he didn't bring in Tobias Harris. He didn't bring in Ben Simmons. We all know that Joel Embiid's the best player on this team. They're not going to move Joel Embiid. So Daryl Morey may go, well, they're not my guys. And I think I can piece around guys that will fit best with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to be made there. But the converse to it is you have the team, for all their flaws and what we saw in the playoffs, they locked up the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference this past year. And then you're going to go, and your first full offseason as the president of basketball operations for this team, you're going to go move 2 of your 3 top guys. It is a risk, a team that was successful, at least on the regular season scale, to go and break that all down. Like, he's taking a chance if he goes ahead and he moves Ben and Tobias.
Yeah, he'd be taking a total chance there.
It seems like a lot to change in one offseason after only being here for 1 year if you're Daryl Morey. But like you said,
unless he saw enough.
Yeah.
Unless he saw enough. We'll find out, man. 610-632-0975. We have 2 open lines. We got one more hour coming up. You can grab them at 610-632-0975. Just calling in today gets you a chance to win a pair of tickets for the Phillies game this Sunday, 105 against the New York Mets. And, of course, 105, it's Roy Halladay number retirement day. All fans receive a Halladay retired number statue. You can get tickets at Phillies.com. We have a pair every single day this week. Stuff coming up this week regarding FanFest. I'll give you some more information as well because I can give you some FanFest tickets if you just ask for them. I really don't mind. 610-632-0975. He's Connor Thomas sitting in my chair today. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. Anthony will be back on Wednesday right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. You know they're hooking up new users. They hook up new users all the time, but this time, an epic Summer Games bonus. You just place your first bet on any Summer Games sport risk-free. That's right. New users get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. To get you started, one team that I've been riding with the entire time from the very beginning, and it comes with men's baseball. And listen, I know we are in the red, white, and blue here, but if you're going for money and you're gambling, Team Japan, they were the favorite coming into it. Team Japan beat the United States today 7-6. I think Team Japan, they're the powerhouse in this tournament. So if you're still, I don't know what the money is at right now. If it's still plus money, I would jump on it. Team Japan to win gold. But you could bet any event. Soccer, track and field, swimming, a whole lot more. Promotions like this are just one of the reasons why I love betting with America's #1 sportsbook. It's easy to use. It's safe and secure. Fast payouts, and you get paid in as little as 24 hours. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app with promo code FANATIC and go for the gold today. That's promo code FANATIC. Must be 21 plus and present in NJ or PA. First online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refund issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking for some wins in Washington. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Wendy's. It's Wendy's BOGO $1. Get a Dave single plus another favorite for just $1 more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value. Restrictions apply. The Phillies have a big series starting tonight in Washington against the Nationals. They'll play 4 games against the Nats down there who just sold at the deadline, looking to make up some ground on the Mets. The Phillies currently sit 3.5 games back of the Mets following their series lost this weekend to the Pirates, unfortunately. They did win yesterday's game, routing the Pirates 15-4. JT Realmuto led the way with 5 hits and 4 RBIs in the win. NBA free agency begins tonight at 6 p.m. There are 4 players that the Sixers had this past year that are currently unrestricted free agents. That's Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott. We'll keep you updated on the future of those former Sixers and any additions the team may make. Some NFL injury news. Carson Wentz, Colts quarterback, will be out 5 to 12 weeks approximately. He's having foot surgery on an injury he sustained over the weekend. That affects the Eagles because they're still waiting on a potential conditional first-round pick from the Colts in that trade. Also, Eagles first-round pick Devontae Smith suffered a knee sprain at training camp. He's listed as week to week. Tim McManus will have your update on that injury, as well as all the other goings-on at Eagles training camp at 4:30 on the Mike Bisinelli Show. Keep it locked right here for all your latest news and information. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-546-1987. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-546-1987. That's 800-546-1987. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Well, the summer heat, that means it's time to crank up the AC again. And to keep your home cooling more efficient and to help you save on high energy bills, I suggest you go to Guida and finally replace those old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Guida Door and Window, because right now, Guida is offering their best discounts of the year. Their big 40% off summer sales event on expertly installed windows and doors. You'll get 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient, triple-pane windows. And also, you'll get 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today. No money down. Paid off interest-free for up to 18 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Guide it today. Take advantage of these limited-time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate. The number, 1-877-GO-GUIDA. Or check them out online at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
You have a job to do. You need power to do it. And depending on the time of year, heating or cooling. At United Rentals Power and HVAC, we have a job to do too. That's to make your job easier with 24/7 equipment rental, including generators, air conditioners, heaters, transformers, and load banks, plus certified engineered solutions. Get the right tool right now at United Rentals Power and HVAC. Exit 17 off 295 in South Jersey. Call 856-423-7820 or visit UnitedRentals.com.
Hey, this is Anthony Gargano. Listen up. Love doesn't stop, and neither does Golden Nugget Jewelers. Why? Because Golden Nugget Jewelers is where Philly gets engaged. Largest selection of diamonds, clean and safe environment, major financing options, as well as unbeatable prices for name brands such as Verragio and Tacori. So you can find the perfect diamond without breaking the bank. It's time to show your partner how much you love them. Visit Golden Nugget Jewelers at the corner of 8th and Chestnut. Online, GoldenNuggetJewelry.com.
Hey, this is Tyrone Johnson. Heineken wants you to know that the summer of can is here. And that means you can do things like getting friends together for backyard barbecues, summer concerts, or hitting the pool. So while you're soaking up the sun and enjoying the things you can do again, make sure you do it with a crisp and refreshing ice-cold can of Heineken made with premium malt and their famous A-yeast. Pick up a pack or get it delivered and put the can back into summer. Must be 21 to purchase. Please drink responsibly.
In business, days don't just come and go. Every day counts. Whatever your day brings, with Comcast Business, you'll have the solutions you need to make the most of it. Like the power of the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses, the freedom to control your network from anywhere, and advanced cybersecurity to help protect every device on it. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Call for details.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn unlimited 4% cash back on dining out or in, 4% back on entertainment, or on popular streaming. And now, 3% back at grocery stores so you can make the cake that makes her day.
Happy birthday to you.
So earn unlimited cash back for going out or staying in with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
O'Reilly.
Do you even remember the last time you changed your spark plugs? Well, then now's a good time. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase 4 or more select Iridium spark plugs. Put the pep back in your car. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let's go. Game on. Pedal to the metal. Full throttle. Let's go big. Let's go live. All day, all night, all out. Let's go high stakes. Topped with a lobster tail. Cocktails? What time? Anytime. Let's go for the win. Let's go for 2 or 3 or hit me. Let's go for it all. Game, set, match. Points on points on points. Let's go Philly. Let's go live. Live Casino Hotel Philadelphia Luxury Hotel. Gaming bars and restaurants in South Philly. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
One o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. Mikey Miss coming your way at 2 o'clock. Kyle Neubeck of the Philly Voice put out a story about 30 minutes. I'm just seeing it now. Now, this is in response to the Mitch Lawrence tweet, which happened over the weekend. The first Tobias Harris tweet that I just, quite frankly, did not believe at all. But then there was the second one today that came out today where makes me think there's a little smoke surrounding Tobias Harris. But Kyle Neubeck wrote, a source familiar with the situation told Philly Voice the reporting was not accurate and suggested the intel likely dates back to last season. That was when, according to the source, Harris's name was brought up as part of a larger deal with the Houston Rockets, briefly discussed during the Sixers' attempt to trade for James Harden. But a Harden deal never got there, and many iterations like this one were never particularly close. So that answers the Rockets one that came out of nowhere this weekend, right? But I still don't know about the Kings one that came out today. And I don't see, Kyle didn't mention anything about that one that came out today. I don't know. Do you think there's smoke around Tobias?
I'd imagine there has to be, just because the Kings were shopping Buddy Hield, and there was a deal being worked between them and the Lakers, per reports before the Russell Westbrook deal got done. There were talks about Hield going to Los Angeles and some type of deal that involved some of those players. Obviously, once they got Westbrook, those talks seem to have stopped. But because the Kings were looking to move Hield already, and now he's in this report with Tobias Harris, at least on the Kings end, it makes sense. And normally that's enough smoke for me.
Okay.
On the Sixers side, too.
Now, let me ask you something, because I'm done with Ben. Done. Goodbye. Bye. Jason O'Connell brings up a trade that I was actually in on during the season. This was before Ben's time in Philadelphia was done. And it was working out a deal where Tobias goes to Chicago and the Sixers get Zach LaVine. LaVine and Ben Simmons greater than Harris and Ben Simmons in terms of the way he could shoot. He can light it up, LaVine. But my only thing is, it just goes back, like, did you really improve? You improved, but, like, Ben Simmons is still here.
Yeah.
So Ben Simmons would remain an offensive liability.
So what you did is you cut the weeds off about halfway up the stem. But, like, the roots are still there. The weed's going to grow back. Like, Ben Simmons is the roots of this problem.
Correct.
And there are other issues with the team. Like, could you improve on Tobias Harris at the max contract price? Sure you can. Are you able to do that? Well, that's up to Daryl Morey and Elton Brand and whether or not they can make a move happen. But even if you get a greater than option, the Zach LaVine, who you think, if you think he's better with Ben and Joel,
right?
Still, the root of the weed is always going to be Ben Simmons, and you have to rip it out.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's why that's why I prefaced it by saying I'm done with Ben.
Yeah,
but I just wonder if people would be in on that. I wonder if others would say, you know what, I'd take that.
You know, I don't know. See, I would say, oh, well, if there's Ben defenders still out there. There are, but there's not the straight up Ben defenders that we've seen in the past couple of years.
Oh, no, that's dead.
People call in and be like, oh, he's not the problem.
No, that is done.
Yeah, what they've changed into, they've morphed into it's more Tobias Harris, or it's more Joel Embiid, or it's more Doc Rivers. But there's no, like, clear Ben defenders out there.
You know what that is? And I said it from the very beginning, which is when Jamie and I got into the whole Colin Sexton, Kevin Love and picks conversation.
Yeah.
It's because I know how a lot of fans will react if Ben is still here. Not the ones that will boo, because there will be fans that boo, but there will be people that talk themselves back into, actually, you know what? There's a lot of good things about Ben Simmons, and we will forget the offensive liability come playoff time again, right? We will just completely forget and ignore what happened. And there will be a lot of people that go, yeah, you know what? I think those other problems, now that they're solved, don't forget Danny Green got hurt. If Danny Green wasn't hurt, like all that stuff will come up from a lot of people. And it'll be the same song and dance. I just don't know if it lasts the entire season like it did this past year. But I also know that first game, if Ben is still on the team and he goes 17, 10, and 8, and the Sixers win, it's a big Thursday night TNT win, people are going to be buzzing again until the end happens again.
Right. And us as guys who know better, and the team and the guys who are in charge of this roster who should know better at this point need to prevent that from happening by making a move with Ben Simmons involved before the season begins.
Yeah, please do. One open line, 610-632-0975. Later this segment, I have to call out Connor for something he said to me last 2 breaks ago. Bad work on your part.
Bring it on, Salchunas.
Come on, man. Let's go to Al in Lumberton. Al, you're on the Fanatic.
Yeah, we got a leader now. JT. He's at number 1. He had a team meeting, and look what happened.
Okay.
I like it.
That's great. They also lost the first 2 to the Pirates, so the team.
Well, yeah, that's past it. We need. I'm in the bar car. I'm having a drink because I need to see a sweep of the Nats. I hope we can shut down damn Soto, and then we have to win 2 or 3 of the Mets.
Well, let me ask you something, Al. God forbid. Well, what if they lose tonight? Because you're very confident. You're happy that JT held a team meeting, and then they put up a 15 spot against the worst team in baseball, which they just lost 2 games to prior.
But 15-15. I mean, you know what? It could be any team. I mean, it was their, but they exploded. But if they're not going to lose tonight. I have faith in Shores. I'm just upset that they got to stretch them out. All this stuff and stretching these guys out. Pitch and throw the damn ball. I've never seen so many damn excuses with all this analytic BS in baseball.
Well, it's not analytics for Spencer Howard. It's a lack of athleticism. It's another A.
He's a wuss. I can't use another word.
Right, but that's why he got traded.
Well, yeah, he's a crybaby. You need somebody. I like Suarez. He wants the ball, take the ball, and throw the ball. You know what? This guy, you look at him, you look at his eyes, he's there. And I hope he don't get blown up there. I mean, I hope that he pitches well. First time around. Well, they're only limiting 3 innings, right? Which I don't understand that stuff. So he only has 1 time around in the order.
We'll see. I wonder what they actually do because Spencer Howard was limited to 3 innings.
He was crying about his finger after the 3rd inning.
Right. No, he pitched in the 4th when he was quote limited. I wonder if Girardi, the baseball side of things, goes, he looks good. Let me keep on going.
I would love to see that. I really would love this. But I like this kid. I really like Suarez. I really, really do.
Yeah, but here's your one problem. And I know you talk about stretching arms and blah, blah, blah. He has not started in a game since 2018.
All right. We'll give him a shot now.
I'm with you, Al. I like it. I'll put you on hold, Al. I like it. I'm just saying, I'm warning you that if he does come out after 3 innings and it could be a 1-0 Phillies lead, it might not be because of analytics. It might not be because of wuss. It might just be because he isn't stretched out, because he hasn't started since 2018. He's been a 1-2 inning guy since 2018. The most innings he's pitched in a season was 48.2. And that was in 37 appearances in 2019. Not last year, 2019. So we just have to be careful.
Yeah.
That's all.
Like pitchers still need to be, at the start of a season, you see starting pitchers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're throwing 5 or 6 innings, even if they're guys that normally give you 7+, because they take time to get their arms stretched out. Ranger Suarez hasn't been a starter, like you said, since 2018.
And Connor, he started in 3 games that year.
Yeah.
Pitched in a total of 4. How many innings do you think he threw?
Pitched in a total of 4, started 3 games. What, 20-some?
15. So it's not like he even had a 8-inning performance in him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe he did. Let me check his 2018 game log.
But him not being
5
stretched
innings
out.
pitched, the most he's pitched.
So him not being stretched out doesn't make him Spencer Howard. Spencer Howard was a whole other deal where he had been starting pretty consistently,
Right.
whether up here or down in the minors. He just didn't have it. This is a reliever coming out of the pen who's making a spot start for you. It's different. So
I hope that, I hope that he's a little more stretched out. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's not been his role this year. They need him to step up.
They need him.
Though. they need him to step up and hopefully eventually get
You're
stretched
pitching
out.
against all due respect to Josiah Gray. You're pitching against a nobody, dude. Like, you have to win this game.
Yeah, you do have to win this game.
The only
You
bat
to
they
win the
have
series.
left is Juan Soto. They traded everybody else. Like, you got to win this game.
We'll see, man. Let's go to Brian in Aston. Brian, you're on the Fanatic.
Hello.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention about Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl Morey, he's asking for a ridiculous amount that it's nowhere worth it. He's not going to get it. But it's smart of him for ask for that much.
Yeah. Start high.
Yeah, Simmons, he belongs on a mediocre or bad team. No chance of making the playoffs or winning the championship. That way he won't get exposed like he did this past year. Whether he realized it or not, he embarrassed himself. He's no champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens, Brian. Maybe he does play better in a city that doesn't care as much. You know, I could see him being very good with Sacramento. Nobody cares out there. Up and down pace. He plays his game, and he's out closer to L.A., and he's happy. But you're right. I don't think he wins anything out there.
No, if he just had the Hall of Fame career, never having to make it to the playoffs or a championship, I bet he'd be happy with that. He don't have a heart like Jordan. Jordan would have punched him straight in the nose, would he?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people have the heart like Jordan, Brian. I appreciate the call, man. So he mentioned the Daryl Morey's asking for a lot. There was a report that came out, I forget if it was yesterday or today, I'm brains in a pretzel, that they were asking for a Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce return, which is what Boston gave to the Brooklyn Nets. And, they got all kinds of players. They got picks that led to players and all kinds of stuff. But I don't know.
Why wouldn't you be asking for that?
No, it's exactly where you should start. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And not even, so that's in a vacuum, you should be asking for that. But in this particular scenario, we've already heard, like, Portland is waiting for Damian Lillard to come back from the Olympics.
Yep.
So that he can let him know what he thinks about what they did with the new coach and the offseason stuff. He's probably going to wait and see what the team does with free agency and who they add through that, which starts at 6 p.m. tonight. So ask for the ridiculous stuff. And if the teams tell you no, you're just killing time until Dame becomes available. And if Dame doesn't work out, you have a starting point with these other teams. Like, this is how it's just basic the way you make trades. You start high, you kill time until what you really want becomes available, and then if that falls through, you go back and you take the lesser offer, or you hear the lesser offer from the other teams.
Yeah, it's like what Houston's doing with Deshaun Watson.
Right.
This is before the 10 federal cases came out, but their initial asking price was 5 high draft picks, which 3 1s and 2 2s, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And starting caliber players. They're not going to get that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to go, hey, let's start with a first round pick and then see who goes up higher. Like, no, you start high. So don't be shocked that that's what they're asking for at the very beginning. Now, we'll get back to the phones in a second, but Connor. So where were you this weekend?
So I was at a nice brewery, Yards, up on Spring Garden in Philadelphia.
I've heard of that
Great
place.
brewery.
And you were playing pool.
I was asked to play if I want to play a game of pool with some buddies I was there with.
All right, so you were asked to play.
I was.
Okay.
And said teammate specifically said, oh, I'll take Connor.
Okay.
And then the 2 other guys were on a team together.
Now, do you consider yourself a shark? Are you a somewhat good pool player?
I'm like average.
Okay, so you're not ripping up the
No,
tape.
I'm competitive.
And you knew as the game started that you put some dough down on the game.
Yes. We bet a little bit of side cash.
Had you been watching your teammate play at all prior?
No, we had not played. No one had been on the table.
Okay. What happened?
Well, what happened was I ended up betting a little bit of money, and this kid who wanted to be on my team, well, I found out over the course of the 2 games that we did play that he'd been drinking all day, and he was rather inebriated. And
yes.
He didn't play very well, and he ended up costing me some money.
Now, did he not look it?
I couldn't really tell, no.
Okay. Because once you're dabbling with money here.
Yeah, he wasn't like falling over or anything. And also, it wasn't like, I'll take this guy. It was more, he said, we'll be on a team, and my other buddies will be on a team. No one was a shark here, so I figured everyone's about the same skill level. Just so happens one of the dude was very, very drunk, and he scratched the 8 ball and cost me a little bit of change.
I just wondered, maybe you need to scout better, but you're saying that...
I was scouted. I was the scoutee, not the scouter.
Yeah, but...
What do I say to the kid?
You may be scouted, but you don't have to agree to sign with the team.
But there's only 4 of us, right? So what do I say to the kid? I'm like, no, I don't want to play with you. And not only that, you got to stick one of your other buddies with the kid who you don't want to play with. Like, that's a bad look.
Yeah, but
you
when
can't
it came
do
down
that.
to money, you just flush it down the drain.
Well, I thought I had enough in the pocket to be able to carry us. I didn't realize at the time.
So you thought yourself would be able to.
I thought I'd be able to make up for it enough.
Okay.
Came down to the 8 ball both times, so it's not bad.
All right. I'll let this one slide.
Thank you.
Be careful.
Appreciate it.
That's all. I beat a guy once at a bar in Doylestown.
Yeah.
That me and my cousin went to. And his it's one of those, like, you put the dollar down on the table, you're next.
Right.
And you keep on, And I beat some guy, right? And my cousin's buddy comes up to me and goes, "Oh, I'll take you on now." I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm just there for fun. Like, it's, I just want a free game because I beat the previous guy.
Right.
He goes behind the bar and pulls out his own pool cue.
Oh, he did the Uncle Phil. Jeffrey, bring me Lucille.
But you know what happened? I won.
Oh, that's bad work by him.
Total bad work.
You can't bring out your own
You have
cue.
to know that you are going to win. If you pull out your own cue from behind the bar, it's got to be a lock that you win.
Yeah.
Especially game 1. Like, listen, you win 5 in a row and you lose 6-1. Okay. But you go, oh, hold on a second. Like, I handed him a cue stick, right? I go, here you go. Oh, no. And he goes behind the bar because he knows people, pulls out his own cue stick, and then loses? Oh, man.
That's the dude who shows up to pick up with, like, the Nike Pro arm sleeve on. He's got, like, the 4 sweatbands and the headband.
You can't do that.
He's like, it goes 0 for 12 from 3.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that, man.
Major violation.
Let's go to Chris in the Northeast. Chris, you're on the Fanatic.
Hello?
Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to call, tune in with that Ben Simmons trade.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I feel like that Buddy Hield trade is probably the best option with us. And in all honesty, I like the Zach LaVine trade.
Even with the Lillard and Beal, or are you saying if those guys are off the table?
If they're off the table.
Okay, I was going to say.
I think Buddy Hield would be the best option for us because it gives you everything you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, if the Kings trade from ESPN.com was Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, and Marvin Bagley III. Halliburton's now he could be your starting point guard, or if Tyrese is your starting point guard, Halliburton's coming off the bench, and Buddy Hield is now your 3. Tobias stays as your 4. Now all of a sudden, if you pick between Maxey and Halliburton as your 1, and then you go Curry 2, Hield 3, Tobias 4, and Embiid 5. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Just sounds amazing to me, I'm going to be honest. The way you just put it like, that's great.
But I'm still going Lillard 1, Beal 2, and then that Kings package 3.
Most definitely. I'm going probably not Lillard 1. I'm more or less a Beal 1, then Lillard, then Buddy Hield.
Really?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Bradley Beal.
Here's the one thing. Beal's got 1 year left on his deal. Now there's no guarantee that he comes back. I'm sure he would.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna work something out under the table, obviously.
Definitely.
All right, Chris, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for calling in. What's up, Mike? You getting some you like that stuff? He gets the cream, but it's the powder. Really? That's not bad. See, I don't go cream at all. I drink my coffee black. I'm a real man. I just know the powder kind of skis me out a little bit.
What is it? It's like powdered cream?
It's literally...
I'm not a coffeesman. I've had like a half cup of coffee in my life.
Showing it to the YouTube audience. It's literally Coffee Mate, which pretty much everyone has in their house. But it's powder, which I imagine...
How does that work? It's like the sugar, right? But it's not sugar.
It's not sugar. So this expires... We're still good. December 14th, 2021. I don't know how long this has been here. So I imagine this stuff doesn't expire.
Oh, yeah, because cream goes bad pretty quick.
So I
dairy
imagine, because I don't see anyone else use this. Mike is the only person I know that comes in here and uses it.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm coffee dumb. Like I said, I think I've never had a full cup of coffee in my life.
It just kind of freaks me out a little bit, the powder.
Well, it reminds me of baby powder a little bit.
Like, you know what always kind of grosses me out? The egg that's in the carton.
Oh, yeah.
And, dining halls have it, right? Because it's
big time college meal.
Quicker,
right
just, and you're probably saving in bulk. I don't know. But that kind of always grosses me out. It's just eggs in a carton.
The yellow ones I'm good with. The egg yolk in the carton? Or is it? No, the other way. The egg white in the carton. That weirds me.
So you're anti-egg white in the carton?
I don't like the egg white in general. I don't even like the egg yolk, like the yellow. I don't like egg. I'm not a big eggs guy.
I love eggs.
That's just what it comes
I had 2 eggs, over medium this morning. But I just...
Yeah, I'm anti-egg.
That grosses me out, the stuff that's in the carton already. But whatever. All right, couple open lines to close out the show. 610-632-0975. Mikey Miss coming your way at 2 o'clock, as well as Tyrone Johnson and Jen Scordo. They have Tim McManus coming your way at 4:30 to give his training camp report. Couple of injuries today. Devontae Smith, 2 to 3 weeks, according to Adam Schefter, with an MCL sprain. Ryan Kerrigan at one point went to the tent shaking his hand. I saw something from Brandon Brooks. Zach Berman said that Brandon Brooks told the media that, remember, he's shredded when he was hurt. He was doing, I don't know if it was UFC training, one of those styles of martial arts, right? And it was shredded. Got down to 285, which you can't be a right guard, 285, even if you're all muscle. I would imagine. I don't know. I'm not a right guard in the NFL here, okay? But he got back up to 330 pounds.
Jesus.
Used Taco Bell. So it was basically the Sean Bradley diet, but Sean Bradley just couldn't put on any weight with the Big Macs. Brandon Brooks goes with the Taco Bell route, is now up to 330. Probably still muscular as all, obviously he's a professional
working
athlete.
out like 2-3 times a day while eating Taco Bell.
But he's now up to 330, Brandon Brooks.
Let's go work by him.
So make sure you tune in today at 4:30 for Tim McManus on with Mike Missinelli. 610-632-0975. Still your chance to score yourself a pair of tickets for the Phillies game this Sunday at 1 o'clock. Roy Halladay number retirement day. All fans receive a Halladay retired number statue. Get tickets at Phillies.com. But more importantly, if the week goes out well, it could be a very big game against the Mets on Sunday. But we'll just see. All right? I'm just going to take a step back. The Chunas train is in the shop. We're getting estimates. All right? So we'll find out. He's Connor Thomas. I'm Andrew Sal Chunas. Also, a quote from Nick Foles. Next, right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies pepper the Pirates. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by UPSJobs.com. Want a job that gets you more? Join UPS. Warehouse workers earn up to $24 per hour after bonuses. Apply now at UPSJobs.com/Philadelphia. The Phillies routed the Pirates in the final game of their 3-game series in Pittsburgh this weekend. JT Realmuto led the way with 5 hits and 4 RBIs in the win. It saved the Phils from being swept after the Pirates won the first 2 games of the series. The Phillies now stand 3.5 games back of the Mets. They start a huge 4-game series against the Nationals in Washington tonight. First pitch of that game is at 7 p.m. Ranger Suarez takes the mound versus Josiah Gray. NBA free agency begins tonight at 6 p.m. There are 4 Sixers that are currently unrestricted free agents. That's Mike Scott, Furkan Korkmaz, Dwight Howard, and Danny Green. We'll keep you up to date on their future with the team, as well as any additional players that may join the Sixers as free agency opens. Coming up at 4:30, don't miss Tim McManus joining the Mike Missinelli Show to give you a training camp report on the Eagles. And he'll be, I'm sure, talking about Devontae Smith's future as he suffered a knee sprain over the weekend at Eagles camp. Currently, he's listed at week to week. Some other NFL injury news. Carson Wentz has elected to go through surgery on his injured foot. This is important to the Eagles because they're still looking at that conditional first-round pick as part of the Carson Wentz trade to Indianapolis. We'll keep you updated on that as well. Keep it locked right here for all your latest news and information. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Wawa and Chips Ahoy are teaming up to bring you handcrafted beverages that'll make your summer adventures epic. Like
going to the beach.
Going to the beach with a delicious and creamy Chips Ahoy milkshake. And
Binging season 3 of that show.
Binging season 3 of that show with a tasty Chips Ahoy smoothie. Whatever you're doing this summer, make it epic. Chips Ahoy milkshakes, smoothies, and sundaes are here. Crafted to crave at Wawa. For dinner made fresh, delicious, and just for you, Wawa's got you covered with fresh baked pasta and delicious burgers every day starting at 4 p.m. Choose pasta options like penne and meatballs, fettuccine alfredo, or create your own pasta bowl. Or enjoy the burger you crave, made with your choice of cheese and toppings on a brioche bun. Even better with a side of fries. There's a dinner option for every craving, every day starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy dinner your way at Wawa.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce doubles, or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn. Like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network. The one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with a fast and reliable internet solution for just $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, get free installation when you order online. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to learn more. Offer ends 9/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second customers only. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Wi-Fi Pro Extra.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here, and for over 10,000 caregivers of adults with autism living in the Delaware Valley, we worry about who will take care of our adult child when we can't any longer. That's why I'm so proud to introduce Neurodiverse Living, or NDL. NDL provides safe and secure, neuro-inclusive co-housing communities with built-in amenities and natural support systems, giving parents like me peace of mind that they will never have to worry about their children being alone or isolated. That's why I want you to join me in the show as we support NDL's inaugural golf tournament on Monday, August 23rd, to help raise funds for this extremely important cause. It's nearby at the North Hills Country Club in Glenside. What better way to get outside, get some exercise while helping adults with autism or other intellectual disabilities obtain safe and secure housing? Go to ndlgolf.org to register. Please consider joining us for this important cause. That's ndlgolf.org. And never underestimate the difference you can make in the life of an adult with autism.
You have a job to do. You need power to do it. And depending on the time of year, heating or cooling. At United Rentals Power and HVAC, we have a job to do too. That's to make your job easier with 24/7 equipment rental, including generators, air conditioners, heaters, transformers, and load banks, plus certified engineered solutions. Get the right tool right now at United Rentals Power and HVAC. Exit 17 off 295 in South Jersey. Call 856-423-7820 or visit UnitedRentals.com.
Check out the John Kincaid Show Golf Tour. It's presented by MontcoGolf.com and the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Montgomery County, home to 50 private and public golf courses, some of the most historic and top-ranked courses in the country. Tune in, hear about the featured golf course of the week, and win great prizes like Golf Galaxy gift cards and rounds of golf for you and your friends. It's the John Kincaid Show Golf Tour, presented by MontcoGolf.com and the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. For details, visit 97.5thefanatic.com/golf tour.
Your experience matters. At University of Phoenix, relevant life experience and eligible transfer credits can help you earn your degree faster and for less. In fact, undergrads who apply these credits, on average, save about 1 year and $11,000. Get the credit you deserve for time spent in the classroom, on the job, and in life. And see how much you can save at phoenix.edu. That's phoenix.edu.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said now he speaks Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
So then I dropped some garlic and croutons on there, and the rest is salad history. I made the best salad ever, people, and now I'm making the best app. The Caesar Sportsbook app got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesar rewards. Caesar salad ain't got nothing on my app. Nothing!
Must be 21. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app. Your app is ready, Emperor.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
$1:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. Mikey Miss coming your way at 2 o'clock. All kinds of stuff on the table. Phillies related, Eagles related, Sixers related. The Eagles, more so the why are we complaining just to complain, which is what I started the show with. Because I saw over the weekend people upset that Nick Sirianni rested veterans on day 3 of training camp. I saw people upset that it looked a little sloppy on day 3 of training camp, which Nick Sirianni actually stopped practice and brought everybody in to make sure to tell them they're playing like crap, which I think that's what a coach should do. I won't say good coach because I don't know anything about him, but I think we're finding things to complain about just to complain with this guy because he's a little different, because his personality is a little different, because he's very energetic and excited. And at first, I thought that would be a guy that a lot of people would actually get behind, like the rah-rah, and here we go, I'm so excited to be here. But a lot of people obviously were kind of like out on the dude. Now, the Eagles situation was a mess when he got hired. Now, Doug just won a Super Bowl. Carson was going to be gone. Like, there's a lot going on with this organization. Nobody liked Howie Roseman, and still nobody likes Howie Roseman. So, I don't know. I just thought we were looking for things to complain about from the first day Nick Sirianni got here. And it took 3 days in a training camp for somebody to go, oh my God, I can't believe they're arresting veterans already. What do you expect? It's also a different league now. Like, they're not doing the same kind of practices. The Colts arrested their veterans on Friday. Did anybody say boo about Frank Reich and whatever? The Phillies, big week ahead. Chunas trains in the shop. Door in the season's not closed, but it's business week. I'm not getting excited until this week ends. I'll either be excited or season over. It'll be one of those two. All right?
Okay.
I told you, if I play the Chunas train, you can smack me in the face.
What if I play it? Do I get to smack you in the face?
No.
Oh.
That's not the rules. If I play the Chunas train, Love Train, OJ's,
right here.
You smack me in the face whenever I do it.
Fingers right on the button.
Nope.
Smack.
Not going to happen. The other thing people complain about, just complain, was Spencer Howard getting traded this weekend or on Friday, when everybody made fun of him for the peanut butter sandwich and not being able to pitch more than 3 innings. And then they bring in a guy who's actually a caliber arm who throws 6 innings every single night that he's out there, and a closer, which you didn't have, and a prospect who's already 4th highest in your organization. But now all of a sudden the Phillies gave up on Spencer Howard too early when we wanted him gone? I don't know. It confuses me. So Patrick Finley, who covers the Bears for the Chicago Sun-Times, he tweets out, Nick Foles is fired the hell up.
How's everyone doing?
I imagine Nick Foles was doing a press conference or media availability. Said he turned down opportunities to be dealt elsewhere earlier this offseason. Said he's a better player than he was when he went to the Super Bowl with the Eagles and wants to be a good fit if he's moved. Now, why do you think he's fired up, Connor? Because Carson Wentz is undergoing surgery, and the Colts are built to win.
Oh, no.
So there's more. And I thank Andrew Siciliano of the NFL Network for putting out the quotes. Quote from Nick Foles. Listen, Frank Reich is one of my favorite, if not favorite, coaches of all time. I haven't had any talks with them. I'm a Chicago Bear right now, but he knows me. And then he goes off on the whole, I'm better now than I was in the Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
Nick Foles doesn't want to be a backup in Chicago. Remember all the people? I still love these conversations. No, Nick Foles wants to be a backup here in Philadelphia. No, he didn't, which is why he took the money to be the starter in Jacksonville. It didn't work. So what happened? He got traded to Chicago. And remember, it was an open competition between him and Mitch Trubisky last season. Trubisky won. Later got benched. Foles comes in. Foles gets hurt. Trubisky goes back out there, plays okay. I think he got benched again. But Nick Foles wants to be a starter. I don't think he's just happy collecting checks anymore. And he never wanted to just be a backup like a lot of Eagles fans thought. He wanted to be always happy here. Nope, he wants to be a starter. So he sees the opportunity of a lifetime to reconnect with Frank Reich, just like Carson did, to play for a team that is built to win, just like Carson did, and to be a starter, at least until Carson comes back. Do you think they do it? In all honesty, I want your honest answer, Connor. Do you think the Colts do it, and how much do they ask Carson or whether or not he's okay with it? And if you're the Colts, Connor, if you're the Colts, do you have to listen to what Carson wants, being that it's his first year that you gave up picks for? Like, it clearly didn't work with the Hurts thing.
First of all, what a damn bizarro world we're living in.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen all over again just in Indianapolis.
This is, you can't make this stuff up.
No, you cannot.
So, if you're the Colts, if you're Frank Reich, you need to know better. I don't care how much you like Nick Foles. You need to know better. You can't bring him in. You just made the trade for this guy, and you wanted to be your franchise.
Yeah, but they're built to win.
I get they're built to win.
Do they want to give up a season? They have a lot of guys that could be free agents. I don't know what their contracts look like.
Bring somebody else in.
Who?
I don't know. There's guys out there. Make a trade for somebody. I don't know. Just bring somebody else in.
I saw Florio tweet Garoppolo.
Sure. Yeah, go get Jimmy G. I don't know.
So you're going to bump up Trey Lance to be the starter year one?
If you're Frank Reich, you watched this up close. You can't do this again. You saw the effect it had on the guy. And if you're the Colts...
Wait. Oh, up close with Carson.
Right.
Okay.
And if you're the Colts... You damn well better ask Carson, because the whole reason he's on your team in the first place is because he fell apart when this happened to him before. So if you're the Colts and you want what's best for your franchise and a quarterback that you just named the starter and your franchise guy, and you want to win now, you better not, in the first 3 days of training camp or whatever it is for them out there, go and usurp the guy again with the man who did it to him before. Like, sure, Nick Foles could probably still be a somewhat competitive quarterback. But him saying that he's better than he was with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl is ridiculous.
Because he doesn't want to sit in Chicago.
But you have to know that he's not that good as he was because he's had another injury.
Yeah, but they could probably trade him for nothing. Now, here's
he's not worth putting yourself through the headache that we just went through here.
Dude, it's crazy. If I told you after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, what was the percentage chance you'd give me that Frank Reich, Carson Wentz, and Nick Foles would be together again in Indianapolis? In a different city.
If they retired together and all happened to live on the same street. To play together, 0.00%.
It's wild that, it is a legitimate opportunity.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a real possibility. Now, they should know better, but it's a real possibility, and that's nuts.
So now this is obviously going to be the story in the NFL as Sporting News puts together a story. The top 6 options for the Indianapolis Colts. Trade for Nick Foles is number 1. Trade for Marcus Mariota is number 2. Go to Jacob Eason, who's their backup, as that's the 3rd option. Trade for Gardner Minshew, number 4. Sam Ehlinger, who's I believe their 3rd string quarterback, is their 5th option, and then trade for Jimmy G's option number 6. I don't know, dude. It's bizarro world. You're right. This is crazy that might happen.
You think the ghost of Nick Foles is Googling Indianapolis Sports Talk Radio numbers right now?
Maybe. Oh, my God. All right, let's go back to the phones, talk about Philly sports, even though this will be a story that I'm sure we will all be paying attention to. You have to. You'd be crazy not to be honest. Steve in Reading. Steve, you're on The Fanatic.
Yeah, so a quick hit on the Eagles and the Nick Foles comment. I mean, if he goes there, it's literally the end of Carson's career. I think he would probably retire at that point. It'd be sad, but that would be the end.
Do you really think he'd retire if they traded for Nick Foles?
I mean, I think the pressure to come back this year would weigh on him so heavily. He honestly, it looks that he would crumble.
But I would imagine, Steve, I would imagine that Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts, makes a phone call to Carson first.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on it too long, but I think it would wreck him. Honestly, emotionally, mentally, I think it would cripple him.
I think it would wreck him if Foles played well.
Yeah, for sure.
If Foles goes out there and plays poorly and Wentz comes back, the timetable for his return is 5 to 12 weeks. Let's say Wentz comes back at the earlier stage of 5 or 6 weeks and he saves the season. I think that's a little bit of a difference. But if he plays well, Steve, you might be right. It might mess him up.
Yeah, and the last thing I really want to talk about was Ben Simmons. They have to trade him. I think the way they're going about it is wrong, pushing the envelope in trade value up front. I think they need to field offers and kind of play the opposition against each other instead of putting out there these absurd trades that everyone's seeing. No one's even coming close to biting for. In fact, teams are hanging up so quick. It makes us look bad. It makes us look worse.
Oh, so you're not happy with the trade proposals so far with these reports? Because Daryl Morey, I think he's doing the right job. He's starting off really high. The asking price is really high.
I mean, too high. He's making it out of control. I think it's actually taking away from Ben's value. There's not much there, and he's diminishing that even more. And if possible, I would love to come to FanFest, see you guys.
Oh, yeah, I'll put you on hold, Steve. I'll get you a pair of FanFest tickets, man. Looking forward to it. FanFest, of course, coming our way September 18th. It'll be here before you know it. Connor, your first FanFest? Because we didn't have it last year?
It will be my first one.
That's exciting. So FanFest, September 18th. It is an awesome time. I will say it time and time again. If you don't have tickets yet, you'll get them. As long as you want them, you will get tickets, whether it's an online ticket raid, whether it's just asking for a pair, for me or Anthony at least. You just ask for a pair, we'll take care of you. At some point, we will have the tickets printed out. So during appearances, I know I have a couple of FanFest ticket raids. Here's your little hint coming up. One of them is with a jewelry company that I do reads for. So I'll let you know those dates later on. And I think at a fitness on this planet. You know what I'm saying? So we will have tickets in person so you can come see us. So you will get a ticket if you desperately want one, right? Just don't call the last day or the day before. FanFest presented by FanDuel Sportsbook and Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, the official hotel partner and after party of 97.5 The Fanatic's FanFest 2021. And I can tell you based off of experience, the hotel at Live Casino and the entire experience at Live Casino is fantastic. I was there this weekend. My buddy's bachelor party. We got 2 rooms and had an awesome time. It's clean there. It's spacious there. So it's a great place to have the after party. It's right down the street from Xfinity Live. So it's not like you're going to have to get into an Uber or anything unless you really need that much help getting to Live Casino and Hotel. But I'm telling you right now, awesome place. I had such a great time this weekend at Live Casino and Hotel. Things that are coming your way at FanFest, DJ Mo Green, who has done a couple of FanFests, fantastic job. We're going to have the rock walls, whether it's the 30-foot rock wall or the 100-foot obstacle course, adult laser tag, which I'm sure will be very fun after you have a few. Plus, you can register to win a trip with me and Anthony in Denver. We're going to see the Birds play November 14th, courtesy of Philly Sports Trip. So I know the morning crew, John Kincaid Show's going out to Vegas. We got the Denver trip. Looking forward to that. You can win have a chance to win at FanFest. And we will announce some special guests this coming week and how you can meet them. So we'll give you some more information on FanFest as the days go on later this week. Let's go back to the phones and talk to Sean in Coatesville. Sean, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, Andrew. First off, go View, man. Right?
Ah, damn right, man.
Yeah. So first off, whole Carson Wentz thing. His foot. I read back in high school what happened. So how could the NFL not catch that when he was coming out of college? That's like a big thing, right?
Well, so I wonder. It'll be interesting to hear if the Eagles are asked about it. If Howie Roseman's asked about it. I know Howie already spoke day one of training camp, but it'll be fascinating to find out if they knew that, or if Frank Reich knew it, because Frank Reich was on the coaching staff and was a big part of the decision making to draft Carson Wentz. I wonder if they knew and they just didn't think it was serious. Because, guys have injuries. Like, look, Joel Embiid played with a slightly torn meniscus in the playoffs and was able to play through it, right? And they knew about it. So I wonder if the Eagles did know about it or not.
All right. And also Ben Simmons. All the people who defended Ben Simmons, this is all their fault. He had a couple of years under his belt, and he still didn't change anything. He had a few big games, but really he hasn't changed, hasn't improved. I blame all people defending him, for all that's going on, because he should have been out of town a long time ago. But they say, he has good defense. Yeah, but your best way to win is offense. You have good defense, no offense, I can win anything, right? So all people.
Well, it also depends on how the team is. It depends on how the team was built. And I thought the Sixers were built pretty well this year. I will say, and I know I joked about it earlier today, the Danny Green injury was actually a pretty big deal for this team. Obviously, Ben Simmons' liability offensively does not outweigh all the positives that he did. But if the team is built a specific way, I could see where Ben Simmons obviously has value. I mean, he's a facilitator, plays great defense. If he can get open threes for guys, I can't say the guy's not a good basketball player.
Yeah, true. All right, I'll need some tickets, Andrew.
All right, man. Oh, you want some FanFest tickets?
Yeah, man.
I'll put you on hold. FanFest tickets to Sean in Coatesville. I love giving away and I love that. As soon as I said, just ask me, I've gotten a few tweets already.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's apparently how you guys do things here on the midday show. You're giving out more, I think, than the other all the rest of the shows combined.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You got a problem with that?
No problem.
Do you not want a lot of people at FanFest?
Listen, I want everyone there.
Yeah, exactly.
I want every single person that can be there.
So God forbid we give away some tickets.
No, you're okay giving away tickets.
Come on, man.
Just saying, it's a marathon at FanFest. We have a lot of time. And
it'll be here before you know it.
You and Cuz are
it'll be here before you know it.
Sprinting.
It'll be here before you know it, man.
Okay.
What, 5-6 weeks? Oh, yeah, man.
It's right around the corner.
Be here before you know it. Felix in Roxborough. Felix, you're on the Fanatic.
First of all, I'm going to say Brocano.
Damn right. You got yourself a pair. What's going on, Felix?
What's going on, Andrew? I called Ant the other day, and he said there's no way we're getting Pascal Siakam. But every time I look on Barstool, they're trading him for a guard.
Barstool has it, or is somebody reporting it and Barstool's tweeting it? Because no offense to Barstool, I'm not getting much information.
They have Barstool has them trading George Hill and Ben Simmons for Siakam and Kyle Lowry, and they have the Sixers getting a pick. I don't see that happening, but I could see them trading them straight up.
Yeah, I know. So that initial price that Daryl Morey apparently called the Raptors for was OG Anunoby. It was Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, which you would have to do a sign and trade because he's a free agent, and as well as a pick. And that was too steep. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if that's something that the Raptors would do, but I don't know, man.
But say they do, they make that trade. Say they make that trade for Siakam and Lowry. You think that's good enough to win a championship?
The only thing is for Lowry, I'm afraid of, is giving him that 3-year, $30 million per year contract that he wants. So you're going to be giving $90 million to a guy who's, I'm pretty sure, is already 35 years old. That's something that I'm not really intrigued by. He's 35. He'd be 36 in March. Listen, I like Siakam. I really do. I'm a big Pascal Siakam fan. I don't know, man. Who knows?
You figure, like Joel has a couple years, and anywhere, I think when we finally do trade Ben Simmons, he's going to really blossom. I think he just can't play with Embiid. You know what I mean? And I was with Ant. I'm a big, I like Ben Simmons. I really do. And I don't want to trade him really, but, it's gotten to the point where he got to go. And it's just sad, man. It sucks that we lost two players. Well, I thought Wentz was the same way, but
yeah, I mean it's a mess. You lose Wentz, you lose Simmons. I'll put you on hold for your FanFest tickets, Felix. I appreciate it, man. You lose Wentz and Simmons in the same year. People are very misinformed right now and are starting to, because the other stars are falling apart, worried that Bryce Harper is going to be a disappointment. And I know that he doesn't have like 30-plus home runs like Shohei Ohtani or anyone like that. But Bryce Harper's hitting .302 this year. All right. Has a .414 on base. Has a .546 slugging. He and Vlad Jr. are the only two players in Major League Baseball with those kind of numbers right now. Vlad Jr. has 30 home runs. Big difference. Bryce Harper playing a pretty awful right field this year, which is a disappointment. I didn't bring in Bryce Harper for his fielding. I brought in Bryce Harper for his bat. He only has 16 home runs right now, but he got 50 games left. If he finishes 28 home runs, the RBIs are going to be low because nobody's on base for him. But are you disappointed by Bryce Harper this year?
I'm not disappointed by him this year in a vacuum. Now, he's having a good year. But at some point, the contract you gave him, he has to have the transcendent year. And the further along we get, like you saw with the injury issues this year, and this is something we can get more into as we watch him this week and everything. But with the injury issues, and clearly he's starting to become a little bit more injury prone, like the age is not going to be kind to him. So unless he has an amazing year as a DH, you paid him for a transcendent season or two in there, and we haven't seen it
Well, he
yet.
got one in year one. 35 home runs, 114 RBI. It's not his fault that Jake Arrieta was your number 2 starter that year.
That's fair.
The Phillies stunk in 2019.
That's fair.
And they had an awful manager.
Okay.
They may have one now.
Well, that awful manager may be managing the best team in the NFL.
Screw him. No, Bryce,
gave us a very valiant effort.
His first year was spectacular.
Yeah,
here.
he had a good year.
And I don't know.
He's having another good year. But, hey, he's got a chance to carry them in a very important stretch this week.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does.
He does. This is a monster week, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Anthony off one more day, so Connor and I will be hanging out with you tomorrow. Looking forward to talking about some more. Game 1 of the most important week of the season for the Phillies starts today. By the way, Patrick Rowe. Thomas pulled the name out of the hat. Our man Tom in the back there, so he pulled the name out of the hat. Patrick Rowe is the winner of the Phillies tickets today. Pair of Phillies Mets tickets for this Sunday at 1:05. It's Roy Halladay number retirement day. All fans receive a Halladay retired number statue. Get tickets at Phillies.com. Not the hottest ticket in town as of today. So congrats to Patrick Rowe. If they win today, we'll have a little more fun giving away the tickets. Because I hope, dear God, as the week goes on, that ticket gets a little hotter for Sunday's game, which will be Game 3 of that series with the Mets. I hope. I see you shaking your head in here. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just hope. Am I allowed to hope?
I'm pointing to the sky. I'm saying
okay.
Need some help.
I just saw a head shake. Like I'm just
sports gods.
Listen,
real God.
I would appreciate a fun little ride this week because the Phillies have just been disappointing us left and right. They improved at the deadline, but do they improve enough? I don't know. We'll find out. Mikey Miss coming your way next from 2 until 6. Tim McManus joins the show at 4:30 for his training camp report. Talk about Devontae Smith and all kinds of other news and notes from the Eagles. Tyrone Johnson back from his vacation. Jen Scordo back as well. So the three of them coming your way next. Connor, thank you for sticking around. We'll be doing it again tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Pivotal week for the Phillies.